Shit. Of course, my earphone will fall out right when I did that. That shit gone. Oh, okay. All right. YouTube is good.
Damn, how you blurred your shit like that?
Twitch is
He got
good.
that. He got the autofocus camera.
Yeah, it's trying to focus.
Oh, so that wasn't a blur. Never mind.
All right, I think we good. 3, 2, 1. Fake clap. Welcome to the AfrOtaku Podcast, episode 62. The podcast where we talk about anime, manga, and everything else. I'm Mr. Good Guy, aka MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-host who will introduce himself starting right now.
I'm gonna steal from JUGGUH. What up? It's player 5.
What's going on? It's JUGGUH.
What does Player 5 do? Hi, it's Stu.
Bravo.
Yo, that was spot on.
Yeah, right. Thank you for not stealing mine. What up? What up? What up? I am Gramps.
All right, jumping straight into story time. Gramps, take it away.
All right. So this was a couple weeks back on a Saturday morning. So I'm leaving from my CrossFit class. You know, still sweaty and everything from the workout, and I'm driving into my neighborhood. And as soon as I turn into the neighborhood, I see two cars that are crashed at the intersection right inside there. So I'm like, oh snap! Then it got nothing to do with me. So I continue to start driving by, but then I see people standing outside the car and people looking kind of looking a little bit messed up. So I'm like, okay, let me park this car and go over and see what's up. I go over there and there's one lady standing to the side of one of the cars, and she's looking like she's getting ready to pass out or whatever. So I go over there and hold her with two other people to make sure that she's all good. And I'm like, yeah. Based off what I know as a firefighter, if somebody's in a car crash, and this is just something for y'all to know as well, if somebody's in a car crash, especially if the car is like very dinged up very wild, people should not get out of the car. You should not be turning your head at all, because the wrong turn can end up messing up one of the bones within your spine, and that could cause a lot of issues, whether it's can cut off your airway, whether you can end up paralyzed, a lot of crazy things. So typically we say that, okay, have that person sit there and stabilize their spine and just sit there and look straight. But this lady was up, moving around, and she eventually, as I was holding her, she started to pass out, and she like literally passed out. So we had to say, oh snap, and slowly, drop her down into the ground and everything. So I'm, sitting there holding, stabilizing her spine while everybody else is talking to her, trying to make sure that she's staying conscious. Next, she completely starts going unconscious. So I'm doing the whole sternum rub. Not sure if you guys are familiar with what a sternum rub is, but it's basically that sternum, that bone that runs right down the middle. If you make your make your hand into a fist and rub that extremely hard, that's supposed to hurt so much that it's supposed to help the person, be able to try to stay conscious to some level. So I'm doing that and trying to stabilize the spine, trying to hold up the head to make sure that she can still have air coming up and down and everything, and making sure that the other people are calling 911 so that they can come out and do their thing. And we're like, oh snap, is this lady about to die on us? Because she starts going unconscious. Next she starts having these snoring breaths or whatever. So I'm like, crap. And but then she started like gagging, so we had to like roll her over to the side to make sure she doesn't puke, and then starts choking on her puke and everything. And I'm just like, man, this is really taking me back to the firefighter days. I wish I had all of my equipment. So it really made me feel like Batman without all of his prep time and without all of his gadgets.
No prep time. If only you had prep time, bro.
You're just a regular human at this point.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just like, okay, I'll do whatever I can to try to make sure that she's stabilized as much as possible until the firefighters and the ambulance gets here. So we just maintained her, make sure that she was good, and the other people who were in the car crash, they were still well and everything. And the firefighters and ambulance eventually came and they did their thing and took her out. But Essentially my wife was like, "Oh man, you just saved that lady's life." And I was like, "I ain't saved her life," but he was like, "Yeah, you did." I mean, essentially, if we weren't there, especially if she would have passed out and would have messed around and been bleeding and would have airway would have closed up and all that stuff. And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess we all did." So that's essentially how me and a couple of random good people saved somebody's life who was in a car crash.
Yeah.
So
That's what's up.
It'd be
Though.
funny is at the end of that, if those firefighters came up with like, you should be a firefighter.
Full circle.
Oh, yeah. I should.
you know what? I never thought about that.
I don't know how to do all that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's a 100% anime character.
No, I was about to say,
right?
bro. They should be a firefighter. He's like, yeah, maybe so. It's like, who was that guy? They end up looking him up like, holy crap, that was Marcus.
Yeah, that's the only entrance.
He saves 5 million people.
Right? That's literally F1, bro. You just had an F1 of your own anime. That's crazy.
I was saying, that's that situation at the beginning of the anime where it's like that one badass.
Yep.
Help everybody, then he just go off. Then he's the new kid at training camp.
Exactly.
Literally 99% of all isekais.
Right.
Basically what that was.
Just like that, Grams. That's how you get all for one. You just out there saving people's life. So old niggas.
Yo.
Real quick.
I ain't about that life, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And that sounds like. What'd you say?
He had a lot of careers. But now I'm thinking like he lived like so many different lives, bro. Like,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
That is definitely the title to your isekai show. Is the firefighter from another world?
Firefighter from another world trying to raise a family.
Right? Like
you need a long title.
He goes to like in the second world where they don't have any concept of firefighting, and he basically just builds like a fire system from scratch.
Yep. That's true. Yo, while you playing, I can see somebody making that now.
100%.
I mean, bro,
if they do that, they better cut you a check. That's all I'm saying. We said it here first. We got it dated. Live stream.
they really got shit like that. There's this anime called like a Handyman or something like that.
Oh yeah, I watched it. It's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. I love that show.
Be solving problems with like appliances. You know what I'm saying? Like regular stuff. I'm like, I'm telling you, I could see that. I would watch that. That'd probably be a dope show. Fireman.
No, the one that kills me is the guy that has this shopping ability or whatever. Well, he basically, he does his online shopping. That's his power in the isekai world, and he can literally buy. Yes, and
I think I know. Okay.
He ended up betraying like this one of those like strongest monsters within that whole world or whatever, and basically he's bonded with it by cooking it all of this extremely delicious food that you can only find by buying it online stuff, like buying online meat and soy sauce and all of this stuff, and literally everything that you buy in that world, let's say if it costs you like 25 cents to buy something in this online shop, you can literally take that thing and get $500, for example, in that anime world, and then be able to take that $500 and be able to buy much more stuff. So you can essentially have endless money through this online shopping ability that he has. I'm just like, okay.
The more you watch isekai, the more you realize Japan pushing their propaganda hard. Like every isekai, like, hey, you want to know what the subtext is? Japanese culture raw, ain't it?
I mean, you're not wrong though. I mean,
like they like niggas that eat soy sauce and like, bro, I ain't never had nothing like this, bro.
Right? Oh yeah, they be hyping. Oh man, watch a couple episodes of Shokugeki no Shoma. Oh my god, them niggas be going crazy over umami flavors.
I mean, the simple fact is that like that anime is an ecchi, bro. Like they literally turn food sexual. Like it's that hardcore.
100%.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
but no, that's some good ish though, Grims.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. Shout out to you saving lives, man.
For real. That's
all right.
MVP.
Dang.
Jumping into the anime segment, we go straight into the Harry Potter houses. Do you want to kick that off, Player 5?
Yeah. So, with the drop of a pretty fancy game, Harry Potter or Hogwarts Legacy, I was thinking that we could take time to sort some of our favorite MCs into Hogwarts houses. Most people might be thinking that initially, most MCs might just fit into Hufflepuff or Gryffindor. That might be the case, but we're gonna see who fits into different ones. So real quick, just to give people a heads up on like what the houses are, like what they say about your personality if you're in them. I'll go over them real quick if you don't know about them. So there's Slytherin house. That's like with the big snake and the green boys. Basically, people in that house covet like ambition. They're cunning. Usually, they're pure blood supremacists. So if that fits in, and most dark wizards have come from Slytherin. But also, Merlin was a Slytherin. So not all bad wizards from Slytherin. Gryffindor, that's the main character house. They fill with courage, bravery, usually the heroes of the story, and they also known for being pretty damn reckless. Ravenclaw, that's the smart people. They cover like intelligence, wisdom. They're always knowledge seeking, and usually they like the quirkiest, weird ones. And then Hufflepuff, big Huff gang. We fuck with loyalty, friendship. We're hardworking, honest, and before people say that they just the extras, the nobodies, I'd like to point out that Cedric Diggory was a Hufflepuff, and he was the best student at Hogwarts.
Okay.
I'm gonna just toss one out that was coming to mind as you were talking that I'm torn between Gryffindor and Hufflepuff on. I would say what's dude main character from Hinamaru no Sumo. He's like super underdog, right? And it gives me like Gryffindor, but I feel like of all the main characters, he was definitely about the team at the same time. Like he had his own set of goals, but I felt like he fit a lot into that loyalty, friendship, hardworking, honesty kind of bucket. So I don't know. It's hard between those two when you talk about MCs.
I would argue Gryffindor just because I think it's like the traits you were talking about as far as like his Hufflepuff, I think it still kind of stems from sumo and just like his general love for sumo and it was more so I feel as like a result than a true
value.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just more just like it is what it is, but the main goal is always is what it is, aka becoming a G in sumo. And I think that's like the biggest factor for him. So that's why I would probably say more Gryffindor than anything else.
Okay. I'm going to add one more in there. And by one more, I mean a set of people. Damn near every main character every character from Blue Lock should be in Slytherin. Based off how y'all describe that shit, these are nothing but niggas that are trying to devour each other, cunning, all types of fucking out here type shit. It seemed like some Slytherin shit.
I actually agree with that. I agree with that for the most part in general. I think the one thing is I think every character, like people and characters in general aren't like clear cut one thing every single time, right? It might be 80% Slytherin and like 20% something else. But in Blue Lock, just because of like what the whole thing of what's the guy with the glasses? The whole thing that he teaches, the ego stuff. Yep. Yeah, I think that's like Slytherin heavy. I think only person I can think of that might not necessarily be Slytherin is Bakura. That's the one that handles the ball well. Yeah. I think he might not necessarily be Slytherin because he's like passer.
He really is about the game more than he is. Yeah. But I still feel like he got that ambition though. Like not on the dick side of things, but like him wanting to play the game. I guess I see what you're saying. Like he's ambitious, but the purpose of his ambition is not really in these buckets.
So would you argue maybe like more so of like Ravenclaw, where homie's just like he's just so into the game that homie like knows the strats, knows like what's really valuable at every point in time, or more so of a Hufflepuff where he kind of like wants his homies to get to shine.
Now, I will say this is that I think that a lot of sports anime people would fit into Slytherin. But with Blue Lock specifically, I think the main character Isagi is probably more of a Ravenclaw because like that's his whole power is like literally seeking after knowledge so that he can build his like puzzles to get better.
I hear you, but it's
Bachira being a Hufflepuff.
I feel like that Isagi thing is still underpinned by the fact that he wants to be the best. You feel me? Like it doesn't feel like knowledge seeking because he wants to he loves the game of soccer. It's knowledge seeking because he wants to devour everybody on that motherfucking field, bro. Like when they shit on him, that nigga is like, "Oh, I'm going to get you." his goal is to put them beneath his feet. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
That's my only counter to that. I hear what you said. Other than that, though,
Hinamaru, I'm thinking maybe like Hufflepuff, because like he could have went to better schools. Real talk. That nigga stayed down with his dogs even though they was garbage. Like, let's be real. Right? Leapfrog hold the team back, bro. Leapfrog ain't won shit. He hold the team back.
No, how you gonna say that when you know Leapfrog was a Hufflepuff? Hey, like, what do you mean?
I'm a Hufflepuff, so I would ride with my boy Leapfrog any day. He a bum, but he coming to practice every day. I'll ride with my boy. We gonna lose together. But if we talking about winning, if I was a Slytherin, bro.
But that's what I'm trying to say, though. Like, that's why I'm arguing Hinamaru's more Gryffindor, though. Because, shit. Okay, wait, hold on, Gramps. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I feel like Hinamaru would probably be looking to find what's gonna give him the biggest challenge, and what's gonna give him the biggest challenge is by him actually facing off against all of these people in actual competition, or then okay, I'm all about being on a winning team. And so if I can put myself in the underdog school, which is basically where I've always been the underdog because of my size. Mm-hmm. The best chance to challenge myself the most to become the best for myself, not for our school. So that's why I wouldn't see him much more as a Hufflepuff, but then much more of a Gryffindor in that case.
Actually, I can see that. Now I got a question for y'all, because this is one main character that I'm kind of unsure about. How do y'all feel about Ichigo?
Ichigo, I think he has like traits. No, I think he has traits of Hufflepuff, right? But I'm associate Gryffindor because he does like his courage and does like stupidly reckless things. In that nobody would think to do. Like it's just dumb. You should like.
I agree with you
break into fucking Soul Society against these captains. Like that's
I agree with you, but once again, like I feel like the hard part of this is that we can take their actions, but then you got to take what underpins those actions. And what underpinned that action was loyalty and friendship every fucking time with his courageousness and recklessness. It wasn't like so what I think, right? For example, like when I look at this, one of the ones that I was thinking about that came to mind, I was like, oh, this guy's clearly Gryffindor. Black Star. That nigga, who's underpinned with friendship in that motherfucker. He's literally just courageous, reckless, and stupid. Like, that's him. He's trying to be the hero at all times. And it has nothing to do with any of that other shit. But with Ichigo, it's like even when he does those things, like when he does the courageous shit, it's always underpinned by the friendship and loyalty. He is not ambitious in any way to me. I never got that from Ichigo's character. Like whenever he sought a power-up, it was literally to meet it was a means to an end. Like he needed to get there in order to accomplish, usually also related to friendship. So that's why I'd be like, people. I think he's more Hufflepuff than Gryffindor because I think everything was underpinned by that loyalty, like his core values as a nigga were those four. Like, that right there feels like it describes Ichigo to me.
Being heroic, right, and being a hero, that is what Gryffindor is. Like even if you look at characters like in the actual Harry Potter series, like none of the Hufflepuff people are the people that stand up to like villains or like evil people or like the one that outright say something. That's a Gryffindor trait. So I get like he's doing it for his friends, but Ichigo he would do that for like for regular niggas that just are being picked on, for example. So like that's what puts him in Gryffindor.
I want to agree with Deuce right there because the only thing I was thinking here, like I was like following MGG, like I could see that, but like I feel like Ichigo really not a Natsu ass nigga. You feel me? Like like for example, when the first episode when Ichigo was like stopping niggas from bullying loose goats. You know what I'm saying? It's like he don't know them. He just like, hey, bro, get off that. I'm here.
Oh, that's true.
I gotta whoop you.
AK here. Yeah, I guess it's like the question of like, yeah, okay. No, I see that. I see that logic there.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, yeah, I mean, like even with like the logic, like how P5 was just saying your description in JUGGUH is that like, yes, I definitely see your point because like he literally became a Soul Reaper because he was trying to like protect his sister, which you can call that like the loyalty and friendship of it, but. It's like that's where you kind of need to like look at a couple of subtexts to really like differentiate loyalty and friendship with heroism. You know what I mean? And like the true like recklessness of it. Because I mean, there are multiple times where Ichigo had low key a better option to think about it, but he was just too reckless and too like short-sighted to be like, bro, I got the hands. I've always had the hands, always been the top dog. I could do what I need to do for my people because I'm that mother effer. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, that seems more Gryffindor than Hufflepuff. I see that closeness.
I got y'all. Y'all convinced me. I succeed.
But I mean, like, riding that wave though, I was actually like, after hearing both sides, I'm now a little questionable about like Luffy from One Piece.
Luffy's Gryffindor.
He's Hufflepuff.
He's Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
See? I was like, wait a minute.
I would agree with Gryffindor.
Luffy's not hardworking. Luffy is not hardworking at all. He is not only about friendship. Like he does that for like regular. They go to an island, some nigga he don't know, and he would like
that
protect him.
He like help.
Luffy punched.
I wouldn't say he's still
Luffy
a pirate.
Punched
also.
the in the bubble.
Celestial Dragon.
Yeah, he punched them not because of his crew or his friends. He punched them because them niggas was doing some shiesty evil shit. Like Luffy's 100% Gryffindor. I don't even think.
No,
Luffy
I would even.
Like,
no. Don't forget. He punched a Celestial Dragon after his homie got shot. What do you mean?
I wouldn't even have to go there.
The octopus buddy. When they got like when they were in the
friends, bro. They wasn't friends.
Well, I mean, friends.
Luffy just becomes
he forgives quickly.
Friends every
single
arc that Luffy has gone on, he's going to knock somebody out because that main villain has hurt somebody who became his friend during that arc. It wasn't because he's this person that's been enslaving all of these people. I'm gonna go knock him out. It's always because you just did this, homie. Did I just that? That's dead. I'm gonna knock you out. That's why I always felt that
the thing that underpins the loop. Go ahead.
No, I just think y'all focusing on so much on this friendship thing that like I think is natural for a person in general to care about the well-being of their friend. Like even Slytherin, they will care about the well-being of their friend. That doesn't negate the fact that.
Go ahead.
What he's doing is like courageous, heroic type stuff. That's
so
like
here's
the
how
main point.
Here's how I framed it with One Piece that made it easy for me is I just put it in terms of the context of the characters, right? So like if you believe that everyone in here, because my problem with the Harry Potter house is it's like I don't know much about Harry Potter, so I'm pretty character energy on Gryffindor, but anybody should have the ability to be a main character in these four houses, right? But in as an aside to that, in the One Piece world, if you were thinking of it this way, if you were deciding to be a main character and you were Hufflepuff in your thing, you would automatically be a Marine. Because those people, from what I'm understanding, are the go by the book, rule follower type of niggas of this four group that I'm seeing here. So I don't think you would ever be a pirate necessarily. Like, sure, there's probably an edge case where you're a Hufflepuff and still a pirate, but where you would truly be a pirate and it'd be Hufflepuff, in my mind. My thing is that you probably fall into one of those other three houses. Like, I know there's an argument for it, but what I'm saying is by default, more than likely, more of the Hufflepuff people would towards Marines based off of how the world is presented. Not what we know reading the manga. Based off of how you see the world, pirates are more than likely evil. We've seen the good pirates mostly, and that's why we believe that. But in the way the world is framed, pirates are dicks.
And even
do stupid shit, and the Marines are actually the ones that help. We've seen the edge cases on both sides that make us believe it's really the other way around. But Blackbeard is an evil nigga, and he's the nigga with the most power right now. Like, Kaido was an asshole. Like, if you look at all the people with the most power besides Shanks and Whitebeard, they were mostly assholes, and Shanks and Whitebeard were the edge cases. So was Roger, from what we know so far. Okay. Maybe Locks wasn't, but that's what I mean.
Like,
the thing that
for example, is Whitebeard is a Hufflepuff to me, like through and through. I think Whitebeard is Hufflepuff, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think like Luffy is Gryffindor because a Hufflepuff wouldn't go to Impel Down and break people out of Impel Down because they felt like they deserved to be broken out of. Like,
and Luffy didn't. When people tried to do the Whitebeard shit for Luffy, he immediately rejected it too. He was like, "No."
Luffy went there to break out Ace. That was his only reason. Which Luffy has also said multiple times. The thing that's really sticking out to me is the hero part. The heroes from the Gryffindor and Luffy, not hero. I'm just here to defend my homies.
That's what I'm. No, but to me, Luffy prioritizes freedom. That's why when him and Blackbeard met for the first time, that nigga was cool with that mother. Like, you got to pay attention to that scene too. Like, yeah,
when they were eating next to each other
because of what. Yeah, but when they were eating next to each other, their values actually aligned. Like, this nigga prioritizes freedom. Like, that's his core is like, I just want niggas to be able to do whatever they want to do at the end of the day. Like, he's trying to have fun. That's why I'm sure whatever he fucking told them that they didn't tell us in the manga was stupid as shit. Like, he probably was like, yeah, bro, I just want to be my meat all day and eat meat. Like, that was probably what he told them. And that's why they all started busting out laughing. Like, yo, that's a dumbass dream. Why are we following this nigga? Like, like, the friendship thing is important to him. I agree. But I think if you look at Luffy's core, it's about that heroism shit. It's freedom, bravery, and recklessness. They tell this nigga consistently, this is the plan. And this nigga consistently looks him in the face and says, fuck that plan, bro. I'm doing what I want to do. Like, even if it's at best, like, think about how fucked up he got them to. If he valued friendship, loyalty, and all this other stuff, he wouldn't make some of the decisions he made. He put, like, literally these niggas' lives at risk just based off the assumption he thinks that they can handle it to move forward.
Can y'all One Piece people answer me this question? And this will decide for me whether Luffy is Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. Here's my question. If Luffy had heard that, let's just say Zoro, killed the rest of his crew, he's like, yo, he find the rest of his crew dead, and they was like, bro, Zoro the one that did it. Do Luffy go put hands on this nigga or go have a conversation with him?
No, definitely put hands. It's hands.
Oh, it's hands. I mean, they fought before for less.
Yes, they definitely fought. Attention to knock each other out for much less.
I gotta go Gryffindor because, like, that's my thing. Because, like, you know, like Deuce has said, it can get conflated with, like, the loyalty and, like, bravery thing real easy. But my difference is, I feel like the Gryffindor is like, nah, bro, I think you're wrong. I'm whooping your ass. Where the Hufflepuff is like, bro, I think you're wrong, but you my homie. Let's talk about it first before I whoop your ass.
Naruto.
No, it's gonna be no words. It's gonna be straight hands. I mean, it's gonna be both, I guess, but, like, it's gonna be on sight, and Luffy gonna drop hands. And then some words maybe a little after.
Then I say Luffy a Gryffindor, bro.
All right, so I want to throw out some villainy main characters and get our thoughts.
Fair.
Light, for example, like, where do we feel Light lines?
Light Slytherin.
It's Slytherin or Ravenclaw. It can't.
No, that's Slytherin.
No, he's full Slytherin.
That's got to be Slytherin. That's got.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Ravenclaw is close. I'm saying.
Yeah, just because it's smart.
I don't think the closeness is between Slytherin and Ravenclaw. I think it's between Slytherin and Hufflepuff, and I'm gonna make a wild.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Hear me out. This is my claim. My claim is that we know Light is being manipulated by the Death Note, and that Light's original intention for the Death Note was purely to make a better world. He's not out here to make him on top, to be this. It was after he got deep in the salsa where he's like, all right, time for me to be the god of this world. Whereas before he's like, bro, I want to get rid of all the bad guys. He is very hardworking. He's the most hardworking kid in Japan, a hardworking country. My man is loyal to goodness. He do not kill many people for being just in his way. You know, like he got off that sauce. That he like a Hufflepuff that got off the crack.
Wow.
I still disagree. I think he's still.
Yeah.
That was a great shot. Like you really tried.
He might have airballed, but
yes, little.
You shot something.
Yeah, because
one of those like player don't take that happen where like he throws something that just like left field, but you spin a little bit. I'm not all the way with you, but like you really thought about it. Like I can see you thought about it.
All right.
No, but here's my thing though. You see what you mean? How one person could be on one side and then switch over. I personally feel like with Saitama, I feel like Saitama used to be a Hufflepuff. So I see what you mean. How one person could go from one side to the other. He used to before he got his powers. I feel like he was much more of a Gryffindor. And then
even when he got his powers, I was
I think he's still kind of Gryffindorish, right? Even when
it's just hard to be reckless when you're a god. Like
exactly,
that's literally the key. It's like, I'm like, is it really like courageous and brave if like you're broken? You know,
that's the Superman question.
That's why I said he switched over to Hufflepuff. Because he stopped caring. He was like, "Hey,
Superman question.
I'm gonna go box with you if you continue knocking my nigga out and breaking him into pieces." So that's what he's like. Okay.
But this is the Superman question. Like, do any of these three things, and now we're getting into existential arguments, but like specifically courage, bravery, and arguably recklessness, do these things matter when you basically are incapable of feeling fear? Like, can you still call something courageous? You would say like a Superman or a Superman in scenarios where he knows nothing is going to happen. Basically, that's what Saitama's going through. Is most of these situations he knows he can handle. Is it argued that he's still courageous in that? That's the question.
I think it's courageous because like he does not have to do any of the things he do. He could see it and walk away and say that's somebody else's problem, and he wouldn't be wrong, right? So like just like for example, Gramps was not on duty. He didn't have to stop for none of that shit. He chose to. I still think that makes you courageous. He wasn't in any imminent danger, but he still was like, hey, let me put myself in this situation, not knowing what the outcome could be. You know what I'm saying? I count that as courageous.
That's an interesting definition of it, because I always saw courage as overcoming a fear.
So yeah, I agree with that, right? Like, so I think that's what courage is, but I think bravery is more often like associated with the lack of fear. To be courageous, I mean, you overcame something. If you're just brave, you're just doing shit just to do it. Like almost like you don't have that fear to begin with. And so I think like people like Goku, they're brave, and also just because they also, while he also likes to fight, he still at the same time is doing it because these niggas are trying to destroy planets, and that shit is wrong. And that's evil.
Goku, 100% Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he don't care about nothing else.
His friends die to get a good fight in, bro.
Well, facts. But I mean, that's just because the whole concept of death, though, is kind of effed up in Dragon Ball Z in the first place. But
I wanted to throw out a few main characters that I think are just like absolutely Hufflepuffs. Asta, Deku, and why I forget buddy name? What's my boy? Takamichi.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And, and obviously, Natsu look ugly ass.
Yeah,
we are. It's the definition of Hufflepuff.
Oh no, 100%. Now there was one questionable one. What was it? Say the first two you said again. You said
Asta is my he the head boy of Hufflepuff in this bitch.
Nah, bro, Natsu was the head.
No,
Asta
I think power not giving up, bro. He worked too hard.
Yeah, I think Asta is more Hufflepuff than Natsu.
Natsu is the definition.
Whoa, you think Asta? You think Asta's more?
Asta's more hardworking type nigga than Natsu is. Asta is a nigga that had no.
That's fair.
Hold on, are they fucking their names up? Asta is Black Clover, right?
Asta's Black Clover.
Yeah, Asta is definition of hardworking. That nigga had no powers. That nigga was swole. He was like, he just got lucky and got powers. Honestly,
he loyal as fuck. He friendship as fuck. That nigga Natsu low key, he loyal, he friendship, but do that nigga work hard like Asta? I don't know. Put my boy at the top.
See, but that's where kind of like I kind of got Gramps back because the key with FT and Natsu in general is that my man was able to literally break reality because of friendship. It's like he's so heavy into friendship that it outweighs it all automatically as like the king of Hufflepuff, in my opinion. So it's like you're not wrong, but he redefines friendship. You go into Webster's and it's a picture of Natsu. It's like that's enough.
So that's why I guess the question is, which one weighs more, the power of friendship or the power of hard work when it comes to Hufflepuff?
And with FT, the power of friendship literally beats out every single thing you can imagine.
Hey,
so it's like
beat out hard work. I mean, he beat out everything with hard work.
I mean, homie can still get run down though. I mean, shit.
I don't put much stock into that friendship thing from Fairy Tail because that's the entire series itself. Like you telling me every character is now a Hufflepuff just because the theme of the show is friendship?
Well, I mean, Natsu's like the MC. Well, I mean, I guess.
I mean, call it Hufflepuff Tail.
Everybody in Fairy Tail is a friendship ass nigga. So I'm saying like they're like that's not their only trait. I think the idea of Natsu is still like a run in, don't think about it, throw these hands and worry about it later type nigga. At the end of the day, I still look at him as that way.
But that's only when it's for his friends, though.
In the beginning, that most like shonen main characters are like Gryffindor because they run in, think about it, throw hands, they stand up to someone, and then they deal with the consequences later, as opposed to. Like,
I mean, fair, but I mean that trait is still shared between both Asa and Natsu, though.
But again, like I said, it's not
I think that's my biggest struggle with the whole house thing is that are you not allowed to have main character energy if you're not Gryffindor? Basically,
so,
like, can you be a Hufflepuff nigga
shonen
that
main
just
energy
like
different? Shonen main energy is different than other main energy. So I think that's why I'm saying I think a lot of shonen are like kind of main characters, like the main nigga, like Naruto, or like even like other like Bleachy said. They're based around like the idea of the main character being this courageous person, like this person that has to overcome something and defeat villains. Like if we look at a slice of life, what's the Assassination Classroom? The main character there is not a Gryffindor because it's not a shonen where like
that's a good twist.
And defeating evil people. It's just a different series.
Hear me out.
What about JoJo's? What about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Which one?
It depends on which one you're talking about. They are different, I think.
Because I feel like they're not all Gryffindor.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Two would probably be
Joseph is Gryffindor. I'll say Joseph is Gryffindor.
I don't think
like
Joseph
the very first one. The very first one.
Second one could low key.
But is that no? Jonathan is the first one.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, Joseph to me is not. He's not.
Could be Slytherin. He could be Slytherin low key because he was always
Slytherin or Ravenclaw. That nigga's a finesser. That's why I'm saying like he's definitely not
exactly cunning at 100.
So real quick, what I wanted to say though, right? Like, so it's difficult to not make the comparison between good guys being Gryffindor and Slytherin being bad guys because like that's how she wrote the book. And very much framed Gryffindors to be like main character good guys. But so that's why I say I think it's important to look at like what's the driving force behind what they do. Like there are some niggas in shonen who like they're a courageous nigga, but like that's it to them. That's it. They just running in that bitch.
Black Star
type of nigga. But then there are other people that are like, yes, they courageous, but like Deku is courageous. I don't know if that's the driving force behind how he works. I still will put that nigga in Gryffindor, but I'm just saying, not everybody necessarily, that's not necessary.
But and that's what I think the thing is. That's why I kept talking about the underpinning stuff earlier as well, which is like, if it's possible to be a Hufflepuff at the core, but exemplify those traits of a Gryffindor, but like your driving force is Hufflepuff stuff, you just execute that in a Gryffindor way, or same thing, like you're a Hufflepuff nigga, but you're fucking a villain, so to speak. Like you do all this scheming and plotting, but it's for your friends at the end of the day. Like the main character from Tomodachi game is very much that nigga at his core is about like looking out for his friends and shit, but it all presents through scheming, plots, shit like that. Like Ayano Koji is the inverse of that. Like that nigga they might think he's doing stuff to help, but at the core, that nigga is like, I don't give a fuck about any of you.
No, I would say, like,
you guys are
like Ayano Koji is Ravenclaw 100%, at least in my opinion. Like, either Ravenclaw or Slytherin, but I'd probably lean towards Ravenclaw. Right?
He was one I was bringing up because I feel like it's hard. I would feel like he's either Slytherin or Ravenclaw, but I don't feel like any of those accurately describe his motivations. And that just could be because I don't know enough about him yet. I don't feel like he's intelligence seeking or anything like that. I feel like he's just smart. And I don't feel like he's ambitious, but he's definitely cunning. You know what I mean? Like
he a dark wizard, bro. That nigga.
I mean, he a dark wizard, but he really don't do nothing unless he has to. That's what I'm saying. Like at his core, he's
into whooping his ass, and he wanted that. He was like, ooh.
But again, this all started because they wanted the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like in my head, like Ayano Koji is like a pissed off well, not pissed off, but like almost a self-defensive Ravenclaw. You know what I mean? Like if you try to run hands with a Ravenclaw, what are they going to do but hit you with the most like schemed, like cunning, smart response you could ever think of, right? And that's how I'm looking at Ayano Koji, because he don't start nothing.
He didn't want to box Ayano Koji. Ayano Koji meticulously puppeteered him into thinking he wanted the hands, so he could beat that nigga.
I hear you, but how did it start? Because he was trying to call Buddy out. He was like, I don't know your name, but I want all the smoke. Ayano Koji said, bet. And gave it to him. Like that's how it literally started.
He had to do him like that, bro.
I mean, again, that's why I'm saying, like you get on the wrong side of a Ravenclaw, you gonna get hit with the most precise pinpoint response tailored to you. And then what did Ayano Koji do? Beat you down at literally your own game and made you realize it.
Are you saying he's Ravenclaw? Are you?
That's my argument. I would say Ayano Koji is a Ravenclaw.
Hey, that nigga Slytherin all the way. Like that nigga. Like
I got a question for y'all. The main character of Black Clover, Yuno, where he going?
See, and he's another one that I think dual presents. Like I could see, you could say his core is Hufflepuff, but he don't present that way.
Bro, Yuno could fit in every single one. He'd a goat like that.
Yeah.
So see, this is once again my Gryffindor question becomes like, is it really courage, bravery, and recklessness if you know you got it like that? You feel like you don't really got it like that. He don't ever go. You don't know.
I don't think Yuno is Gryffindor at all. I don't see him going in the Gryffindor boat. I don't.
I could definitely see some courage, bravery, and recklessness when he pulled up on Lucifer.
Come on,
recklessness?
You mean Lucifero?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you were talking about just recently. I said, what? That nigga was prepared, bro. That wasn't no recklessness. He came ready.
OG Lucifero, my boy. Hey,
yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I can see that.
Bro, it's either that or they all die. You know what I'm saying? At that point, like, any apple can fight back. You gonna fight back. It ain't like what other choice you got. But I don't think like his main thing is like courage, bravery, heroic.
I would probably argue Slytherin if I'm being honest.
I do think it's a mixture though. I think it's like probably a little bit of Slytherin, a little bit of Ravenclaw.
I'm just saying if I had to pick one, like I agree with the squad here. I'm just saying if I definitely 100% had to pick one house, I couldn't even talk about the others. I'd probably lean towards Slytherin. Only because he's trying to be Wizard King. Like I still see that like his rivalry with Asta. I feel like it's like the driving factor to everything he does as far as like a starting point.
You know, look at it like Asta really wants to be the Wizard King too, but if you don't put him in Slytherin.
Facts, but I mean that just argues to still show like the difference of their characters in general, though, right? Because I mean, Yuno hasn't really made a lot of friends, or at least as many friends or as deep connections with said friendships like Asta, you know.
Well, you know, I think that's mainly because they don't fuck with him from that point. But they did in the anime give him I think like 2 episodes of filler art showing that he had like homies in his
Golden Dog
group right before they got fucking murked, just so Yuno could be. They made the point to go out. Basically, everybody loves Yuno. Don't nobody dislike this nigga. But, you know, you can call that for what it is. I agree with everybody again. You know, he to go. He could fit everywhere. But if I were the sorting hat, I would place Yuno into Hufflepuff. I think his pure bloodness would make him great for Slytherin. His ambition, his cunning, all of that shit. But this is my issue. Slytherin produce a lot of dark wizards. If Yuno go bad, it's over with. We gotta get that boy in Hufflepuff so he
that's completely opinion.
He is not lying though. Just take what's going on right now and Yuno switch sides, it's over with. Nobody's winning.
Yuno was like, you know what? I'm fucking with
he right. This nigga's spinning. It's over. The shit is over with.
And I want somebody to change my mind. This main character is 100% Slytherin. Goblin Slayer. Change my mind.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
I didn't finish the series, but like I don't remember him being like some kind of ambitious like character.
Killing all goblins. I call that as an ambition.
I don't know what his ambition was. That's fine.
Bodying all goblins, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I feel like that's fair enough to say a strong ambition.
Do you have to exemplify all of these evenly, or can you be if you're just cunning, you would be Slytherin, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I would line it up, even if I didn't feel like he had an ambition. I think what Jug is saying is right. It actually is like kill all goblins, but the cunning part is I think what makes him Slytherin more than anything. Like that.
I mean, and the supremacy
comes with prep time.
Yeah,
the race supremacy.
That dude's extremely racist.
That too. That is
all right,
true.
you know
That's
what?
true.
I'm gonna go ahead and just make this argument. To Graham said somebody, changed his mind. I'm gonna go with.
Here we go.
Oh, don't do Hufflepuff, bro. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Don't you dare do Hufflepuff for Goblin Slayer.
No, hey. He not allowed in my house. Let's put it this way. This is how he can't be in Hufflepuff. If there was a magic turn you into a goblin serum, a Hufflepuff would be like, "Oh no, bro, we gotta fix you." Goblin Slayer be like, "I got the fix for you now." But my argument would be Ravenclaw. For like the same reason I would put Batman in Ravenclaw is that obviously to do the work he does, it requires a like unwavering diligence to his topic, which is goblins. Like I don't think there's anybody more knowledgeable on the planet on goblins. Like if he can find something new about goblins, he gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
he the type of nigga doing feces analysis on goblins. He
absolutely.
Like, yo, this is what they ate for
when that goblin paladin appeared, my nigga
That's way to kill a goblin.
I ain't never seen that.
But he does it all. But he does it for the purpose of knowing another way to kill a goblin.
Facts.
The knowledge of how to kill a goblin, which adds more into the cunning aspect.
Well, no,
like
because
said, he is cunning.
Ravenclaw, they aren't just like they don't have to be smart, right? They have to be like good at or like smart or great at what they do, and have an interest in what they do. And it just happens to be that his interest is killing goblins, and he's the best at killing goblins. So I mean, like,
that's fair.
I would if it was only a job. If it was only a job, I would see your argument there. But it's more than that. You know what I mean? Like this is coming from deep in his soul of killing goblins.
But this is why I argue Ravenclaw was Slytherin. If his ambition was like, "Hey, I want to be known as the greatest Goblin Slayer," then I would say, "Hey, that is cunning and ambition in the sense of it's for himself." Because let's like Slytherin and Ravenclaws are often very arguable. Like they kind of close to each other. So like, what separates them? I don't think his goals are about him. I think his goals are about like the subject, like the knowledge. He's a goblinologist. That nigga like.
Wait, so would you argue? Okay, as a general question. No. Actually, to pause real quick. I mean, this is like the P5, but for anybody else, because like how? I guess let me ask you this: like, does the word ambition literally have to mean for you? You know what I mean? Like, does it have to be you trying to be good at blank? You're trying to be knowledgeable at blank, or can ambition simply be to achieve a goal? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have a very large be able to achieve.
I think
that's what makes you ambitious.
The definition of the words, absolutely, it can be towards extreme. But if we focus in specifically on like the houses separating people, typically you see Slytherin to be more like selfish, self-centered type of people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. If that is true,
here's my
touche.
thing.
Then touche.
Here's my thing. If he put that had asked him, what do you prefer? Knowing all of the different ways that you can possibly kill a guy, or just wiping all of them out instantly, just like that.
He's picking wipe.
Just wiping them out instantly.
That was good.
That's why he's 100% on that Slytherin side, because he's not doing it just
right?
because he's not doing it for them. He's doing it because that's what he's doing. That is what his brand is.
Fair assessment, right? So let's put it this way. I'm gonna give you the same thing. If you would rather have the knowledge of knowing how. Or would you rather kill all the goblins yourself, or like have the knowledge so that you can give it to everybody and let all goblins be killed by people? Like, I don't think he cares that he kills the goblin. If goblins are dead, this nigga happy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you provided him with a wish to kill all goblins versus knowing about it. Yes, he gonna take the wish because he want all the goblins dead. But the ambition is not his alone. Like if that nigga could train 1 million niggas to go out and kill goblins, he'd do that. Sit down and watch every goblin die in happiness.
He just, I don't want to. But I'm just seeing him as just like holding at the side. You know, those people that'll have like a thing that nobody goes to, like a martial art that nobody wants to study. He got that type of dojo. And one kid come in like, yo, I'm interested in killing goblins. You like killing goblins? all I'm gonna say is this: I do think there is a 1% part does want to suck the life out of each, like with his own hands, wants to murder each and every goblin, and watch the life fade out of her. Just a 1% thing. I agree with you with everything else you said, 0.5 though, but I do think there's a little bit of him that
he went by himself. Goblin King. He ain't want anybody else. That's on me right there.
That's on me.
Well, you can argue he did that. He just knew he was the best person for the job. Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, the truth is that sometimes there are, and the Sword and Hat even says that there are multiple houses that'll be good for a person. And in that case, they usually let the people pick, such as the case for Harry Potter. Slytherin, in my opinion, probably would have been best for him, but he chose Gryffindor because he was an 11-year-old boy.
Wait, so let me ask you this. If Goblin Slayer had to choose, you think he actually chooses Ravenclaw or he chooses Slytherin?
I think he would choose Ravenclaw because people would probably be more willing to give him help killing goblins. And Slytherin niggas would be like, what? I'm not about to waste my time killing goblins. I'm about to go kill a dragon. Like, they would be them niggas that look down at him for being a platinum person still killing goblins. I think. Yeah, platinum goblin niggas would be like, nigga, you whack, you platinum goblin slayer. Ravenclaw niggas be like, hey, bro, I found some more goblin info here.
It's a thought. It's a thought.
I see what you're saying.
I'm still saying Slytherin.
I see it as like morphing the character. If I see him as Slytherin, like now Goblin Slayer is a little bit louder about his hate for goblins. If he's Ravenclaw, he becomes like that weird Igor scientist nigga that just in the corner obsessing about shit. So I'm like try to like map which one I feel I like to see him in more.
All right, y'all want?
Hey, you put up a good argument. I respect that though.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Y'all want to move forward?
I'm still not buying that other shit. The Hufflepuff.
Just to keep his ego in check.
Player 5 the dude that introduced people into some bullshit because he makes that convincing argument, bro. He like trying to get niggas. Yeah, you're right. It's that Lucius Novachrono type nigga. Like, no, bro. Being a paladin, look at literally all this shit that you can do. Like, you the nigga on the ground while the angels is blowing shit up. You like, bro, come on, bro. We could just join them now and we don't even gotta die. I could be like that. Wild.
Okay, real quick, before we move on, I want to name a couple of characters and just do a quick like house for each one. No. Sure. You ain't got to hear no reasoning. No. Just which house he put them in. Let's start with Aaron, Attack on Titan.
Wait, who?
Aaron, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Slytherin.
Player 5, he thinking he got some.
Oh shit!
I said Slytherin.
Oh, you did? Okay.
All right, cool.
I got one.
Gone and Killua.
Gone is Gryffindor.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Killua is Ravenclaw. I feel Ravenclaw.
I'm kind of leaning towards that too. Yeah.
That's where it gets fuck.
No explanation. Just stay your piece.
For now.
That's a tough one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You know what? F around. I feel like I'm not sure how P5 is gonna say this, but I would argue Killua as a Hufflepuff.
All right.
I'll leave it at that.
I'll leave it at that.
I'll go Ravenclaw.
All right, there we go.
Can I get
yeah, go ahead.
Shinzo from My Hero Academia? Buddy with the voice. If you respond to me and I can suddenly tell you to do anything.
Oh, Ravenclaw.
I'm gonna go Ravenclaw too.
Yeah, Ravenclaw.
Using your voice is pretty courageous. I'm gonna go Gryffindor. I feel like you want to present him that way, but this nigga. Just hold that. Let me stop. But we're not supposed to give an explanation. I'm just. That's it.
All right, that's all I had.
All right. Anybody had any last minute ones, and then for a quick thing, if not.
Hey, Vegeta, where Vegeta bitch ass at? No explanation.
That's definitely Slytherin.
Maybe. Oh, okay. I can't explain. I gotta say Slytherin. Shit.
I was trying to. I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting here the whole time trying to think of any main villain, and I could not think of any.
Madara.
Think of any.
Oh no, I lie. Madara is definitely Slytherin too.
Yeah.
Pain. I don't think.
I feel it's got to be a nigga you agree with. That's the only way.
Pain isn't. I don't know. Pain is Slytherin. I wouldn't put Pain in.
I would still say Pain Slytherin too.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't put Pain in. I can't.
Nagato.
Any of these other categories, if I'm gonna be honest.
I know for a fact Pain is definitely not a pure blood supremacist. I don't know, maybe like Ravenclaw or like maybe Gryffindor, but I don't see that nigga being Slytherin.
Oh, okay. I can see an argument for Gryffindor in a twisted sense.
And then another thing with Pain is like, bro, that nigga got like literally the powers of a god, and he just like, nah, I'm gonna be a terrorist freedom fighter. He don't want shit for himself.
But he wanted world peace, so I mean,
that's what every
take that for what it is.
That's what every. That's gonna be a whole combo.
I think Bin Laden said he wanted world peace shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them niggas gonna be Slytherin.
Yeah, of course. Most of us will be Slytherin.
What about Kizaru? Did you still argue he's Slytherin? I feel like his motivation is kind of vague.
It's different from Marines because a lot of them aren't actually villains, right? So like,
Akainu, I think we clearly say that's a Slytherin.
Aokiji,
we can't.
Hey,
I feel like Aokiji.
If you're a Marine, or I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. I think Aokiji is
the king of snakes, Orochimaru, or Raven.
Aokiji got to be Huffle.
That's
because
that's looking for player 5. That's a good call out. Orochimaru might be Ravenclaw because
100% Ravenclaw.
There's villains that I was trying to find that like a villain whose focus is purely on like a particular thing, not an ambition to eradicate anybody, just like a goal of knowledge seeking. That's Orochimaru for sure.
Yeah,
he definitely
fair. Okay.
I'm
just trying to get the data.
What about me?
Yeah, I get it. I'm trying to get the data, nigga.
I think every villain has a little bit of Slytherin in them, though. Like it might be 80-90%
Shit.
like Ravenclaw.
I think every hero has it. If we just talking about ambition alone, bro, main character MCs, it's just the courage and bravery that's pulling them niggas to not be in Slytherin. Because we all said Slytherin with Aaron. So we already know it's a very fine line between being a shonen MC and being a motherfucking villain.
That's why the Harry Potter example is real life, because like in the show, I mean, because he had to choose between Gryffindor and Slytherin, and that's how most of these characters be.
Yeah.
Damn, got deep.
Like that nigga Harry really might just be a Slytherin that's like, fuck it, I want to be a good guy.
Right. Damn, that's crazy.
All right. Okay, so I'll wrap this one up and we can jump to the manga segment. I'm gonna put One Piece and My Hero up front because I know Gramps gotta leave soon.
My Hero's trash.
Let's start with One Piece. Just a quick moment of silence for Kid. R.I.P. boy. You fucked around and got hurt, bro. Second time from my guy. Kaido dropped on him, murdered that man. This time they fucking pulled out. They used it as an intro to niggas being seen in a long time. Dory and Brogy came.
Yo, real talk. That was crazy.
Bro. Boom. Bye bye.
Just for the record, I want to nominate him right now for Goofy of the Year. I'm going to add him.
The whole year.
Here's my only save I'm gonna give him, bro. You were sitting there fucking around with Luffy, the dream maker, the king maker,
the brainwasher.
This nigga got his head a little fucked up. He just saw it because seriously, like, let's think about it. How Shanks showed up is how every single one of us were expecting all of the Yonko to show up. I would say Kaido did his justice when we first met him. He showed up that way. I gotta give him his respect. Honestly, Big Mom too. We can't really argue that because when they pulled up on her island, Luffy was locked up in the. So they all kind of did that little show up. All I'm saying is that I think Kid's head might have got a little bit loose. He was with Luffy. Luffy had them thinking that they could beat Yonko. They body Big Mom and Kaido.
Just because they
and this nigga thought, oh yeah, I got my training arc done. I'm ready. But same thing with Law. I don't think Law is walking out either. Like maybe not dead because it's still Law, but like he's not winning that fight. The way they try to make it seem like, nah, bro, Blackbeard's about to run this nigga face. So I don't know.
Hey, can I say something real quick? You know, I don't be watching One Piece, but just hearing that really makes me understand Sakura more. You feel me? When you knock off a Yonko or in Sakura case, laid a punch on the fight.
They jumped. Let me just correct it. They jumped her.
Naruto and them jumped Kaguya, but when you was part of the jumping, I see how that hype your head up. And that makes me wonder, where in Sakura's life did she finally get humble? Like, yeah, you know, I was knocking Kaguya out.
Right after that,
at some point between Zen and Boruto, she got humble and became a housewife. Like,
yeah. That was right after that. She ran up on Orochimaru like, yeah, Orochimaru, you're not finna do whatever. And he was like, dude.
Bro, she never got humbled. What you mean? She never got humbled.
Come on. Orochimaru humbled.
There's going to be a Sakura Gaiden that come out where it just shows Sakura getting humbled.
I'm going to tell you why I know her and Orochimaru had an interaction. That car and shit, I know she pulled up. I know she pulled up once and she got humbled when she did that shit. She said, hey, where that good car and Orochimaru said, I don't know where she at. He said, okay, well, I'll box you for it. And she said, okay, no problem. And had her ass locked up in the cage for 3 days. Like, oh, I wonder how this healing shit works. Hey, come on, man, that's out, bro.
Y'all speaking on Sakura.
I think you're forgetting who Sakura. Sakura was obsessed with Sasuke. If you think that she knows there was a girl that was that close to her and she didn't pull up to go see her, you tripping, bro.
I'm talking about after like Kaguya. Y'all talking about before?
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about after.
Yeah, I'm talking after.
She would rock Orochimaru today.
What?
No. Pause. I already see. I just got a flash. No, hold on. Are we ready for this? Like, this is about to be a whole thing. So, like, do we want to keep it moving and just table this, or
this will become a large tangent?
Let's table it, but just give it out of 10 fights with Orochimaru, so I can understand where this.
She probably takes 6 or 7.
Goofy out of here.
Okay, so you say
Well, when you say she takes it, like, so you're saying that Sakura will beat Orochimaru 6 to 7 times out of 10? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, again, it's Orochimaru, so he won't die because the nigga can't die, but she would win the fight. Yeah.
Okay. So now we know. We're gonna table it, and we're gonna talk later.
Sakura is much better than Tsunade.
Again, table it, and we're gonna talk later. Now we know. Now we know.
That was a good cap right there,
My campaign for Goofy of the Year, I'm just gonna have that picture. And I'll shout out to these guys. That's gonna be my campaign of this, man.
Yo, it's been a long time since we had one of these Naruto conversations.
So by that same logic, I just want to ask this last question that we're moving on to One Piece.
Okay.
You then also believe that she will body the fourth Hokage as she is now? I mean, third. Sorry.
Oh, third.
Is that a fact assessment to make? Because Orochimaru did whoop the third Hokage.
That entire fight was retroactive. If the first Hokage was as strong as he actually was in real life, the third Hokage would have got bodied, right? I think Sakura can beat what the third Hokage beat. Yeah.
But she's not Hokage. Is what I'm saying.
She's not. You said what?
I'm saying if third Hokage and Sakura had a fight, you're saying that she will also beat the third. I'm just
no. The third is stronger than Orochimaru.
Okay. Got it.
All right, so I just noted it in our notes for us to come back later. We good.
Yep, I got you. All right, so back to One Piece. Yeah, shout out to Kid for trying and failing, and then happened. That was interesting. I think that was a big.
We got a traitor.
Yeah, that's like, how do y'all feel about that? That kind of pissed me off a lot.
I'm pretty
like homie betrayed himself. More or less. I mean, that's what happened, right?
So, yeah. I mean, I guess, but the thing is, he took out certain parts of himself and put them into different bodies. So if you take out the greedy part of yourself, when you really think about it, in hindsight, it makes sense because you're taking of yourself, and you can expect that that's going to backfire upon you.
But I mean, I guess like the logic I was using is like that made sense if they were completely autonomous, but I thought that's not entirely true because I thought they were all connected to the main brain, though, right? So I thought that one knows, the other knows, or is that false?
So they all simply come back to the main brain and synchronize what they know, and then go thing.
Oh, so they can literally choose what gets like shared. Long story short,
I don't think they choose what gets shared. I think it's kind of like you connect your USB to that USB, and it automatically takes everything that you did and synchronizes it to the main drive, and then it takes what with everybody else that's on that main drive and places it into your memories as well.
But I mean, Homegirl's been scheming this for a minute though, yeah? So I mean, she's literally been having this on the low key. And that's what's like, how does she keep down the low key from herself?
I uploading all of her memories to the main drive because they were like, oh no, all she do is eat, sleep, and shit. We don't need her memories. So that was my thinking. So that's how she was able to do all.
No, I just don't think about it. I don't think about the plot holes.
Possibly. I wouldn't even say it's that for me. To me, the interesting part of the Vegapunk stuff is the questions he's answering for the world. This whole like subplot of get to killing him off, I'm not as interested in. I can't the new pacifistas that he made because like that was interesting to see. But like once again, Oda hasn't done a good job unless I wasn't reading the thing properly, and maybe the wiki has finally explained it, of explaining how thing with King worked. So now that's like a feature. That's the part that's confusing me the most about this shit. Like he was like, yeah, wait till the flames come. So I'm just like, is this thing like you do a certain amount of invisible damage, like when you play video games, like when people have that type of like shielding where they're like invincible, sometimes you have to do a certain amount of damage to that armor or like, you know, transparency thing, and then eventually it like breaks. Like I don't know what that secret sauce is there. That's really my only question. Other than that, I'm just like, I was really hyped when we started getting to answering the questions and like some of the other stuff happening in the world. This subplot is really like slowing me down. It's slowing it down for me. Like I'm not paying as much attention to it. It's a lot of words for stuff I don't care about. I'm like, girl, you want to be a fucking celestial dragon? If you just helped them, you would have. Like, what is even the benefit of this clout that as a celestial dragon? Like, bro, you're already able to do most of the stuff they're able to do because you're fucking like you're Vegapunk, right? Like,
yeah. And here's the thing that confused me. Here's the thing that confused me. If you're supposed to be one of the smartest humans on the world, you have to be smart enough to realize that this world government is their ranks. I don't care how many bodies you bring; they're not going to let you be a celestial dragon. And you would think that if you're one of the, she knows that. You sure?
Yeah, she said like they're gonna kill me too. Like she knows that, so she supposedly has some kind of plan, to make shit work, right? But she knows. She said that she knows that they're gonna kill her also.
So if she knows that, then why would she be doing this? That's why I'm like, she has to, because some type of stupid thought that makes her think that she's actually going to be let into the celestial dragons.
Because it's greed. She's greedy. She wants everything. She wants all of it. She wants to be the top nigga. If she gets the chance, she want to be emu. She just greedy. That's
yeah.
That's really all I put on it. You know, it's not. I don't put too much thinking into like a lot of work. It's like entertainment is good, but like I think that's pretty much she's greedy and she wants to be everything. She wants to be the one.
Yeah. If I'm to be honest, I'm actually much more interested in what's happening outside of Egghead Island. Everything else seems to be much more fire. This whole this Shanks action.
Stuff. Oh no, I'm looking forward to when they pull up.
Kuma, Law. Whatever the hell happened to Sabo just now, because I'm pretty sure he ain't dead. I actually care about everybody else except for what's happening with the Straw Hat crew.
You don't care about
I can't lie. I think that Blackbeard versus Law is about to be weak, if I'm being honest. Like there's nothing that new.
No, Law lost. Like we know.
Yeah, it happened way too quick after whatever. I think if they're gonna do anything, is show off Blackbeard's crew. But the problem with that is, like, if we're being honest, like, who is he gonna stand up to? Jesus? Jesus? Jesus will fold that man in half. That prisoner dude they got from Sabondi, like he's gonna get folded. Like
lost,
there's
wrapped.
There's no.
I don't.
That was my issue with the. That's always been my issue with the cruise. Is like I really felt like when we were in Sabondi, we were gonna get more of that. Like everybody has a 7, so to speak, or like a good list of top tier niggas. Flushed out, like I'm still praying on Gastino.
Really?
Mr. Gastino, bro. That was my guy. But like they don't have like even their number 2s. The only notable one is Killer, really, and it's like, damn, that really sucks. Like I liked Panther, but like it sucks that I know he's not a bad. Like that part is a little disappointing, and I don't think there would have needed to be much to like really lift them up. But they just seem to look like a lot of no names, and that's what sucks. I'm like, it's literally Law carrying the team, Kid and Killer carrying the team, Capone, all those, and all of these interactions. It's like, come on, bro.
Man, I just want to see if that man get his head. Chapters. That's all I want to see. I want to see if that nigga Blackbeard is sitting there holding this man Law's head. Like, who else wants some?
That's what I said, because he's still a D. So either Law, they're going to use Law as a conduit to explain more about this will of D, because Blackbeard probably has some understanding of what's going on there, or Law got bodied and he took whatever, which might have been his power. Because I can also see how literally Don Flamingo was like, this is the power that is the most useful. So Law's power is going to play into the end game in some way. That's why I don't think he's necessarily going to die. He's just going to be useless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no way he's dead. I think he'll be there when the Straws discover everything. I feel like somehow he'll be around.
Just useless.
He might join their crew. His crew might be over with. He might say like, you know what? I'm not.
That would have been a better look. If I'm being quite honest, like it's a much better way for them to be sub Luffy than it is for this like fake competition thing that's not even. Hey, I'm like, man, kid, you're dead, and we don't understand why you were going after Shanks that hard, bro. Like that's the thing to me. I'm like, bro, you was going after that nigga hard. Like it would have been nice to at least maybe even seen a more of a dark side to Shanks. Maybe he fucks your town up. Like, we don't even get that. Bro, you really went against the worst Yonko you possibly could, and we don't even have a good reason for that, bro.
Because the nigga got red hair, bro. He said, "I want to be the only nigga with, I want to be the only nigga with red hair out here." So you gotta go. That's what he was thinking.
The worst luck.
What do you mean you understand why he like?
Shanks was his go-to. Like that was the nigga he was actually gunning for was Shanks, kid. Yeah. From what I remember, unless I misheard that. But like Kaido was like a bump on the road. Like they wasn't trying to do that. He was fucking up Shanks like Yonko Empire. Like he was I think it was like alcohol bases or whatever the fuck it was. So like kid had actual beef with Shanks. But what that beef was to me never really came to fruition in a way. Like maybe I missed it, but I don't think I ever really understood what the source of that beef was.
Or maybe
that was it. That was the core that he took his arm.
He took his arm off. That's why I like he was. Don't get me wrong. He was.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, let me get that.
Oh, that was big.
That was Big Ben.
I would have learned my lesson and kept it moving.
That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. You attacked a Yonko and didn't even see the Yonko and still got utterly defeated and lost a whole arm. What do you think is going to happen when you actually see the nigga himself? That's the thing that should have said, nah, let me chill out and get swole real quick.
That's that big ego.
If I can't even beat the commander and
lost
a whole arm.
It's the same shit with
I hate when niggas forget that they're not the main character. That's my and that was what happened with Kid. Kid really thought he was the main character.
He thought he beat Big Mom, but he didn't. He beat him with another nigga, and she didn't even really die.
She wasn't.
You know what
she wasn't defeated.
She's falling down, chilling, alive, still conscious. Like she ain't
still conscious.
They just knocked her off the cliff. If she didn't fall into that pit, and if Law didn't make it so that her voice couldn't be heard, she would have been right. She would have Zeus, get me out this lava pit. She would have came right back up and bodied him.
The Shanks thing was honestly the worst one, bro. It was like you could have gone after any of the and you would have had it better. Even Blackbeard, I felt like you would have fared better than.
Still would have lost, but
literally,
I guess.
Yeah, but it was like it was on a. Not only did you like, you know what I'm saying? Like they pull up to Kaido's home base, which was dumb, right? We pulled up to Big Mom's home base, also dumb. But it's just something about pulling up to Shanks with all them niggas that feels more dumber than those two to me. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's just something about not planning that and just going like, yeah, us with only two strong niggas is gonna pull up on everybody with no real motivation.
Look at it outside of the main character thing though. Like I'm sure they don't look at Shanks as being superior to like Kaido or Big Mom, right, in the world. Yeah. I'm sure like there's no people don't think
on paper it feels like they might be all in the same tier. But it's not true.
I'm sure he's not much stronger than Kaido. I just don't see that as being possible. But like it's he just don't think that. He again they think they beat Big Mom, and so like, you know what? Even if he didn't beat them, you know, I can fight them one-on-one. But they forgot that Luffy was on their side. And just Luffy, by like his syndrome, his main character, like he just make niggas stronger.
I'll say that, and I'm gonna give it to Killer too. I'm gonna give it to Killer as a true day one because he definitely didn't question any of that shit. He rolled with that nigga till the end on some dumb shit. He didn't tell him, hey bro, I don't think this makes sense. He went for it all the way to the end. So as a day one, shout out to you, Killer. R.I.P.
I think it's a wrap though.
R.I.P. though.
Do you think they come back at all?
Yeah, I mean, like, because they can swim besides Kid, right? Like, so somebody could save them.
No, I don't mean dead or alive. I mean, like, in the story. Do you think they come back in the story?
Oh, Killer got a fruit?
Wait,
remember, they gave him a smile. That's why he came. So you get all of the cons from having a devil fruit. Well, plus, you don't have a power.
Start pulling your weight. Time to start pulling niggas on the crew.
No, but so do you think he'll be back in the story, or is it like a wrap?
I never saw his purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
like a real rival to Luffy to me, so I never saw his purpose outside of trying to be like a foil to Luffy, and it wasn't good, and we're past that point. So If he does, sure, but
So
I
that's
would be
a no?
like.
Plus, they were all added as a last minute thing anyway. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, I
but
doubt it.
I do got to drop out.
All right.
Give quick MVP and Goofy. I'm pretty sure y'all know who my Goofy is. Obviously, useless and MVP, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it to the AfrOtaku crew, man. Y'all been keeping it going strong. I appreciate y'all.
All right, bet. See you later, Gramps.
Yeah.
Deuces.
All right. Anything else on One Piece?
No, I think
Mike?
I don't know. I'm sick of Vegapunk now. So like Graham said, I kind of wanted to just be over already. To be honest.
No, I like Egghead. So they can stretch it out a little bit.
Really?
I'm just not a fan of the plot.
And then Kizaru gonna pull up. That should be good.
Oh yeah, that's a redo.
Yeah, I love a rematch, a good rematch. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the Kizaru rematch, because he really folded all the Dujin. So like
that was crazy.
Who's gonna go up on him? I'm hoping it's Sanji maybe, or I don't know if you think it's gonna be Luffy.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like,
it depends if the old head nigga that's with them could actually fight.
Yeah.
If he can actually fight, then then Luffy will fight him, I guess, or somehow. I don't know. But if it's just Kizaru, the only person that's like could really fight, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I'm baking that the old niggas are actual battle powers. Because there is one bald dude, at least that one gotta have hands. I think there was a bald dude with a sword or something.
Yeah, he got a sword.
And glasses, round glasses. Like I've been banking that he has. So I'm hoping that they are actual battle powers, but we'll see. Okay. On to My Hero Trashademia. Any thoughts
I don't
there?
have anything to say. I don't read. I just like kind of skip through those pages. I look at the pictures.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, but that's all I have to do.
I will give light respect to the team though for the Gigato Machina. I would say that was a nice little strat that I was like in the back of my mind, like, you know, where the fuck is this nigga? And I'm like, oh, that actually is a smart play there. So I'll give them for that. I thought that was good. Dudes turn up like Takiyomi's turn up. Man,
I was gonna give some big ups to him too. Yep.
I'm 50-50 on that.
With the Giganto Machia, I was just gonna speak on that. Like, one, I want to give out a little bit of respect because, like, you know, stopping them, good job. I was worried about that for a while. I'm like, motherfuckers worried about the final boss. Like, y'all
Facts.
not really stopping him first. So.
At all. Nobody was able to.
I'm like, bro, Deku, that's a full boss fight, bro. Like, so that's why I was just like, okay, good job on that one. But then also, like, the disrespect to Giganto Machia's character. Like, it either says something about the world, which, like, we've been hinting at this for a while, or just, like, what was these niggas thinking? Because, like, I'm for a while, like, why don't they just get somebody with mind powers to, like, take this buff nigga over? Surely being crafted with all these quirks, that's probably something a nigga thought about. Nah, just motherfuckers can just take his mind over. So I'm like, bro, if that means that nobody has mind powers, y'all should have been putting respect on this nigga Shinso, bro. Like, that shows me how shitty the hero system is. It's like, this how strong this nigga is, and y'all almost let him go into management, nigga? This nigga manage behind the book while the world get killed? What's wrong with y'all, bro? It's killing me.
No, I feel you. And that's like, I feel that same push and pull when it comes to the power-ups we're seeing from the students. The same type of thing. I'm like, bro, once again, you guys are relying on these student niggas. Like, for Takiyomi's move to be at the Giganto Machina, who's also being controlled by a student. Takiyomi, what is it? Was it Mount Lady is the third attack that's coming towards them? Yeah, but like, two of them are students. Like, that's wild to me. Like, even an Endeavor thing or anything like that. And that's constantly my push and pull, which is like, bro, these students it's not making like this jump. Like you're really telling me that the hero complete trash, and it's hard to believe that they were complete trash. They still was putting niggas in jail.
I think they try and make it slide with the quirk singularity thing. Like, oh yeah, the kids should be stronger. Quirk singularity, they got stronger quirks. I'm like, but y'all didn't show that to us. You know what I'm saying? All these niggas wasn't like, oh, riding everybody dick like they was Bakugo. They was like, y'all trash. Y'all ain't ready for this hero life. We lock niggas up out here. It's tough.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. There's none of that. Like, at least that I was constantly thinking there's going to be some separation, but honestly, there's not. Like, they really could be heroes today. The fact of getting me at this point has been reduced to the same thing as basically getting some sort of like permits from the city to break down your house. Like, that's basically what it is. It's a permit from the city that allows you to destroy buildings because you're quote unquote saving people's lives. That's what it's been reduced to, where before it felt like it had more meaning.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there is no school after this, obviously. Like, there's just no way. This is all automatic.
I don't think there's a series after. I think we're done after this shit.
Oh no, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying, like, in their world. I'm just saying, like, in their world, it's not.
No,
like,
they're gonna still try to make it seem useful. I feel like they'll turn these people into like like we'll get a time skip finally, right? Player 5, and then and then in that time skip, we'll see them as adults, and some of them will. And some of them won't. My thing is just like, we missed a lot of that. There's a bunch of different things, but I'll stop. I've belabored the point so much with my issues with My Hero. It's just like Deuce is saying, I'm effectively doing this, opening up the chapters. I'm trying my best to read, but I'm not reading with intent anymore, where I'm like really trying to understand what's going on.
A status update.
Like, I got it. Yeah, I more or less got the point. And I just
at this point, I'm like, I'm saying I'm reading it to read it, but like I'd rather just watch the anime. So,
I was gonna say like that. I mean, that's just the only
and
plus.
That's what niggas is going for. People are still on me with this whole like the animes. They're like, because I have people like cousins and brothers-in-laws that are like,
that's where the money is
watching the anime, and they're always like, have you watched the My Hero anime? I'm like, no, I don't watch it. And they talk about how lit it is. I'm like, I'm sure it is. I just don't enjoy the manga.
I don't see how it is. I don't see how it could be, honestly.
What'd you say?
The animation. I don't see
how it could be.
They put in bank in My Hero, though.
I know how it's winning right now. The fight anime community, they just, they goating it. It's like Dragon Ball Z. Like they animate My Hero really well. They've animated really well since the jump. So like the animation studio basically doing the heavy lifting, and then they got a couple of cool fight scenes. I think right now they doing that American #1 hero.
What's her face?
Sergeant Stripes finally came through.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. On that part, I could definitely see it.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
That's the thing. They're hitting the lip points.
Yeah, it wasn't like now it's hit like the bottom of the cycle. So I think like. But I still can see it being good in anime. Like you said, I guess just fights.
That's the thing. Like this Takeyomi thing is gonna hit really well in the anime.
Oh, yeah.
But like for us is the
Bird Homie.
Pro dude. Yeah, Bird Homie. Yeah. Like that move will they'll have the music around it. They'll have the Todoroki's thing will have all that. But to me, it's like when you're reading the manga, it's like sure it looks cool, but once again, I'm still focused on like the underpinning. I feel like a lot of the niggas that's watching it is, especially the anime, it's like they're not really as focused on that when the action is good enough to like kind of smear over the fact that like, this is a little weird or doesn't really fit from what we've kind of been known this story to be. Because the whole point I think that people forget about My Hero is I think some of the initial draw was the balance aspect. There was a lot of balance put into the beginning where it felt like, especially if we just talk about Deku, his power was balanced. Like there was a repercussion for every action, and you always felt that weight in all of the situations where he did have to use his power. Yeah, you got a god power, but nigga, more times, bro, your arms are gone. Like that was the pain. And then at some point, especially towards this end, and it's just been tossed all over the place with like, not even just Deku in his power.
Hold on.
the adult heroes versus the young heroes. That line is completely blurred right now. I would argue that I've seen doing more work than pro heroes and motherfucking like young kids that are doing pro hero level work that it doesn't make any sense. Like is at UA and you had one internship. How are you now able to take on the of all time? Like in this world. But.
I feel like they're trying to implement like some things from like a series like Hunter x Hunter, right? Where like even when they look at the chapter, like it's a lot of words, like they're explaining a lot of things, but it just don't hit the same. So, like, I think they need to decide just to embrace the throwing hands aspect of it. You know, like we don't expect some kind of explanation from Black Clover. It's just these niggas throwing hands, and we're fine with that. So just decide, choose which one you want to be, and just do that well. And you'll be fine.
I agree with you. Yeah, they definitely are tugging between highbrow stuff or just like straight. And they really should pick a side because especially at the nearing the end, it's like a lot of it isn't. It's just what's her face? The girl.
Uraraka?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, not Uraraka,
Toga?
but yeah, Toga.
Yeah.
Sure, but also, okay, what's next here? You know, like it's. All right. Anything else on my hero?
Not at all.
No. Overall, meh.
Who? Yuno Clover.
Yuno Clover.
I'll say this: if it wasn't for this last chapter, Black Clover was necessarily trash, but I wasn't too big. I was expecting more from the training arc, so to speak. Like I liked some of them.
I mean,
I liked some of them, but I felt like maybe it's just because I don't have a good enough explanation or understanding of what this new power is. It just doesn't feel satisfying, I guess is the best word I would use. Like, got this Zetan move, but like the way we felt about, or the way I felt about the demon progression, like that when he got that power up, I felt like there was a lot more substance and meat and world building to that, where this one feels more like an afterthought or like a quick thing towards the end. Like I honestly feel like if he was going One Piece long, we would have got a lot more build out to this power. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, because maybe he knew it was going to be this long, but I thought it was going to be longer. With why I feel like that might be the reason why it feels so like not as substantial to me. But that's my only issue. Like this chapter kind of like brought it back to the excitement again. Aspect of it, I was expecting a little more from that side of the world. That's what I'll say. I like the strongest of the power though. I hope him and Mary Leona get married. Like that shit was funny to me. The dude, the strongest samurai over there, the Iron. He was like, "Oh yeah, like the strongest mage over there," and they showed like Mary Leona. I think I'm like, bro, them motherfuckers get together. That kid, I want to sub.
Right,
his life, bro, because he gonna be the hardest nigga in the street.
Hey, he my first round draft pick for future big nigga of the year.
Right? He just gonna walk out. He just gonna walk out the womb, bro. Miracle ain't gonna push. She gonna be like, "Hey, if you want to get out of here, you gonna have to fight me out this motherfucker." This nigga his own C-section.
He's like the precursor to the Mashal guy.
Right?
You know, Black Clover. I think I appreciate what I've been seeing because like they're like speed running through shit. And honestly, I appreciate it because like when I look at things like One Piece that like for me got dropped for one reason only, that shit longer than the Bible. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Like, bro, I get to learn. I learned about the samurai people. I felt like I got a good little understanding of their world in a couple chapters. Boom, boom, boom. We got the power progression. To be honest, I got over my fits with Black Clover and their power skips like a while ago. That's just what they do. It's part of the show at this point. Like it's like Dragon Ball Z is like, hey, I know they about to do some bullshit on this, so I'm not even going to fuck with it or care about it. But I do agree with you. They do that. The only real thing, I'm just really on the ride, waiting until we get to the end. Only real things, obviously, Clover. We knew how this show was going to end.
The acknowledgement.
But then, damn, they really made Jack the butt of the joke.
Facts,
they killing him?
Facts, though.
This nigga.
That was crazy.
Where are we?
They one-shotted him.
Is Dorothy better now? Is it official? Is Dorothy at the top?
It's official. This nigga.
Hold on, what happened? You not talking to me?
We talking about Jack, bro.
Yeah.
Remember, we were arguing.
Yo, he denounced him. He denounced
Top 5,
him.
huh?
He called this
Dorothy.
top 5. Jack at the bottom.
Dorothy bodying him.
At the time, he was portrayed to be that, bro. He was a rival to Yami. I'm like, if he's a rival to Yami,
as you can see, rival relationships are one-sided in Black Clover, because that nigga Lucius said, "Oh, you are my rival." And Yuno said, "Nope, it's this nigga Asta." You know how disrespectful it is, bro? I'm a literal god, and you still like, "Nah, bro, this ain't that hard as when I have to fight Asta for this shit, bro. This is a stepping stone."
When me and Asta fought with bare hands, nigga, the only wizard that fought with Asta bare hands and here to tell the tale. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a thought. That's a thought.
Just imagine that he was thinking about the beating he got when he was a kid. Like, this ain't shit.
And this might be far-fetched, but this is what I was thinking when I saw this chapter with Yuno. And I was just like, if Gaara from Naruto was like more of a main character or like a story focused around him, there's just something where he pretty much covered everybody. Like, I felt like Yuno's power showcased that Gaara scale, where to me, Gaara one-on-one but kind of boring. But Gaara as a Hokage protecting a city really showcased in that Deidara fight, or when he Sand Shield over this whole motherfucker. That's where I was like, oh, I can see why somebody would say you're the Kazekage of this town. Like, nigga, you are a felt like showcased that from the Wizard King side of things. Just like I immediately went to Gaara with that whole shield thing that he did, and then on top of that, he mace niggas on top of saying, "Hey, bro,
that's nuts.
Time don't work here." To come up with a time counter spell.
That's
and
crazy.
At the same time, a support spell. Like, I was like,
that was crazy.
It was exemplifying aspects of the Wizard King. Like, if Asta gets it, it's whatever. But I don't think Asta has showcased like that. Where to me, that was like when you talk about aspects of a ruler, I was showing that in that fight. Like, nigga, I'm a king level nigga.
And he royalty, not to be racist or nothing.
Not to be racist. He a little racist.
He was giving them some gas.
And I've been hyping my man Asta up to any and everybody y'all know. I ride with him. He's just right underneath Takamichi when it come to me for main characters. He really that nigga, but bro, I don't think he'd be Wizard King, bro. This Yuno Clover. I'm sorry.
It's tough.
Right?
It's tough. He could be a Magic Knight. You feel me?
Damn, you can't even say captain? That was kind of dirty, but
to me, it's like if he's Wizard King, it's off. It's beating Yuno, but it's not off. Like, if I had to vote on the Wizard King and it was between Asta and Yuno proved to me what a Wizard King should be. Like, that scale of magic, that level of protection. I don't think Asta has that.
To be fair, Asta did. Like, remember when this was, I would say Asta at least got a bid. He's still in the running. It's because when that demon came and then the actual Wizard King came out and everybody was like, we gonna win. And then the Wizard King turned back to a kid and everybody was like, fuck, we did. Asta came and saved the day. So yes, it wasn't to the same scale, but he did show that, look, when the shit down, Asta can't save the entire city.
But see, you know what I'm saying? Like, Asta's a one-man army, but Yuno is a one-man army and also a support mate. That's the part that I'm, like, calling out specifically. Like, he can also empower his troops to do stuff. Asta has to be everywhere in order to save the day. Yuno proved to be everywhere, nigga. Like, I can be focusing on the main shit and still empower the niggas behind.
Yep.
A job done. That was the
And
like, yo,
bro, wait, give it.
Acknowledge them.
Give it. What nigga acknowledge? Oh, you mean the villain?
His captain. That nigga said, "Hey,
no,
bro,
yeah, he literally said that you the captain now. He literally said you the captain now. That's crazy.
Captain is trash, but give it 20 chapters, bro. Give it 20 chapters. Asa gonna do something like probably similar. He gonna.
I mean, it's just. I mean, it's like different types of. There's a lot to think about there. It's just like everything about Yuno. He's just so well rounded that he can fit like a boss in every slot.
Here's what I'm saying. If 5 Lucifero type demons attack the city at once, Yuno can manage that situation with his power. Asta would have to be in all of those 5 places at the same time to be able to manage that situation.
I'm saying give it 20 chapters.
A ruler. That's a ruler distinction, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Asta's not power capable of being a Wizard King. What I'm saying is, as far as a protector, Yuno has that quality over Asta. That's all I'm saying. He got the scale, that Gaara scale of like whatever. Like Naruto's the same thing. Like Naruto gotta be there. But Gaara literally was like, nigga, I can protect my whole city and still be sitting in one spot, my nigga. Like,
and the only difference with that is that Naruto got clones too. So like, he still got the same scale. He can literally, I mean, he can be everywhere at once, you know.
Well, you know, nobody thought about Naruto as Kage until he was able to do that, like that full like 1,000-man QB cloak. At that point, it's like, okay, he can protect the whole town. This nigga can be Kage.
True.
Yeah.
I still gotta get something like that, but I ain't gonna.
It's coming, bro. I feel like it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something like where he can, any enemy is in the village or town or whatever, he could just stop their magic or some shit like that. It's gonna happen, bro. He got out.
He could develop a anti-mana zone. I agree with you.
Oh yeah, that get pretty broken. That get pretty broken.
Equivalent level, like Yuno's always a step ahead, right? But always catch up eventually. Like then Yuno also evolves again. But whatever.
But I'm gonna say this: even with an anti-mana zone, we shown that one thing. Some niggas out here still got hands, so you can walk into that, still catch a couple bodies with hands alone.
You know how I would love to see this end. I would love to see Yuno and Asta fight at the end, and Asta do exactly what you said: shut off the mana. No magic, no anti-magic, and Yuno still.
Yep. I was waiting for that.
No, he literally tells like the wind spirit, like, nah, we don't need you.
And that is another thing. Once again, that spirits are more than. For a second, I thought that the Earth homie was actually getting a spirit, the golem chick.
Yo,
like when I seen her, I was like, "Oh, she getting a spirit?" I was like, "Oh no, that's what's her face." So in my, I'm like, bro, Yuno also showcased the power of a spirit because the salamander has not been showing us anything outside of the fact that like I'm just intimidating. Like, yo, your firepower boosted, and this thing is intimidating. Those are the only 2 things I've shown. The wind spirit has shown us the value of actually being chosen by a spirit. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's why the fire spirit should have went to Meryl instead. You know.
I mean,
but she wouldn't have used that motherfucker either. She would just be using that nigga to train. That spirit, that motherfucker have a big old black eye every time he walked around. Why we was training with Meryl again in the room? She said, beat my ass. Yeah, no, I just mad respect to Yuno, bro. Like this chapter was great from that acknowledgement standpoint, the scale, even the like, I don't know why, but like support magic in Black Clover, I really appreciate the way the author writes it because it's like it's used in just to see the value, and it still adds respect because I think oftentimes support characters or support level magic is just kind of seen as this cares about, but like from painting homie magic to Yuno support magic, the only one is like Mimosa is like 50-50 on how much she showcased it, but you can really see it really adds to how you see them as a character when you see them use certain spells support magic. It really enhances their power level. Like I added respect to Yuno when I seen him use this support spell. It wasn't just like, oh, this feels like an ass pool. Like, oh shit, like Yuno's up there.
And I think it allows for the story to, no matter how big the scale gets, continue to use strategy. Whereas like other manga, like and like My Hero, for example, niggas is too strong. You know what I'm saying? But like this support magic really does change it up. Like, hey, bro, clearly you stronger than them, but his support magic stop time. What do you do? You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate the support magic too. Also, I wanted to say this. Like, I think it was like 3 chapters ago, before showed people what he was about. I knew my nigga Yuno was ready to turn into Yuno Clover. My nigga had his extra grimoire in a Louis bag. Bro, he had that thing going. We was letting him know he keep it right here on my side. I got it on me, bro. That's what he was saying. I knew it. I was like, this nigga Yuno about to go crazy.
Facts.
What do you do?
Louis bag.
Yeah, no. That's all I was saying. He up there. I'm already putting him in the running for MVP of the year. I would say. I think he deserves off that.
That's fair.
Chapter. We'll see how it plays, but I think he up there. Anything else on Black Clover?
Good luck, Asta. Good luck.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Yuno gotta die, right? Like that's the only way Asta can really become.
Oh, don't jinx it. That'd be crazy.
Ooh, you think we're going that
far? I think they won't do that.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
How else can you justify Asta becoming the Magic Emperor ever in life?
If I'm being honest, I think the end is gonna end up with like a Naruto Sasuke thing. At like the worst, in a sense of like they're gonna share the title / protection.
Oh.
No. I mean, you know how like Naruto's Hokage obviously, but whenever he's incapacitated out of town, blah blah blah, it's more or less Sasuke. Like they're gonna do some kind of finesse or just a sharing of the title. That's what
Sasuke never wanted to be Hokage. I think that's.
I know. I'm just saying there were like scenes, or at least from what I saw, clips was like whenever Naruto's not here, I'm gonna protect the village, and like he ended up stopping an attack that was about to body the whole village that no one else could stop.
I couldn't see either one of them going for that though.
Yeah,
like their goal wasn't to cohabitate Wizard King. They want to be the one. I think that'd be a tough end if they did it that way, because I just couldn't see the other one giving up and saying, "Okay, we'll share it."
What I'm saying, who really got to go? That King, because I can't see either of them bowing down.
The actual
the
King.
Julius thing makes sense even more now that we know he's a villain. So he was just keeping it low key. You know what I'm saying? Taking orders. But come on, especially Yuno. I can't see Yuno doing it. Asta maybe. That's why maybe Asta will be it. But Yuno, I can't see him going up to that King nigga and he telling them like, "Yo, we got to do this." And Yuno's like, "Okay, sir." Fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
Or Yuno gonna be the king of the other country, right? Because he might go.
Oh, is it straight abandoned?
Not abandoned, but like
if he loses though,
and he going because there's just even losing. I just can't see him being around in the country while Asta is Magic Emperor.
I agree with you. I don't think they both can live there. If I don't think it's gonna stay in the area, but we know it's gonna be Asta. So
if it did end up in like a vote where maybe the king had to pick, I think like if I was running the country, I would pick Asta, because you can't have a king of another country as my Wizard King, bro. That's a setup. I'm like, no, you gotta go back.
That's a cool waiting to happen, right?
That's a cool waiting to happen.
That's a cool waiting to happen.
Ain't about the military coup me. I'm good.
You just start seeing some Spain niggas, Spain Kingdom niggas as your bodyguards. You're like, ain't you from the Spain Kingdom? Yeah, bro. Assign me to special duty.
Right. Now they got Ambu Black Ops made out of space.
Ambu Black
Ops. Right. Shadow organization. That's great.
For that reason and that reason alone, cannot win.
They plotted on them. But yeah. Great chapter of Black Clover. I'm glad we're finally getting into the meat of the fight. I'm happy to see how this plays out. I just wish we got a little bit more world building. I felt like to go all the way to this different area and there's a different power system and all this stuff going on. We got some seasoning, but I understand because of the speed why we didn't get the depth. But I think if he was going a little bit longer, we probably would still a little bit more about Day area. But Anything else on that? All right. On a decent news, some new anime and manga this season. I have a few to talk about. And my brother put me on to this series. It is really fucked up. So if you are not into really fucked up stuff, don't watch. Jujikai no Rogue. And to give you some premise detail, he gets bullied by these 4 people, and the bullying is very graphic and atrocious. But what I'll say is that the bullying goes so far, little kids, mind you, that these kids are able to kill this. So if you want to read the story, kill his parents, like these 4
shit
kids or younger even. I think they might have been like 10 or something. So like the story then basically follows his like revenge plot to kind of get all these guys back. And if you want to just see some really irredeemable villains where like there's no talk, no jutsu, like there's no love for these niggas, you just really hate them straight up. This is one for that. You're gonna enjoy that ride of him murking them niggas. It's still ongoing because the last bully is like a shit. Sorry, like more
so they that smart.
Me.
Oh shit.
The other niggas not really. They have their own little things, but that guy is he's on world domination type behavior. So there's after him at the end, but it's fucked up. I'm talking about like if you think it's just a revenge, there's still some sad moments that happen along the way. It was one of those binge reads for me, like Blue Lock, Revengers, and this so far have been the series in the like 3 years where I've started reading and I could not put them down until all the way up. So I really enjoy it. Recommend it. Anime wise, I'm watching is Handyman in Another World, which I really enjoyed. I think that was a great way to mix up the Isekai storytelling aspect. It does not start with the origin story. What it is almost a comedy show where they start with the first 3 episodes just being little skits of different people in the world doing like funny shit or like serious shit. Like at one point there's this like mage. It was a healer and like a combat adventurer, which I thought was one of the funnier stories. The healer has like an addiction to blood or whatever, and like likes the adventurer she's with. So when she gets injured, she's like, "Oh yeah, my magic power works better if I'm able to like lick the wounds or whatever." But it's so that she like, you know what I'm saying, gets the relief of that fetish that she has. So she's there like licking the wound, talking about, "Oh, it helps my power feel better." Back her mind, she's just enjoying like she has a blood fetish, so she's just like getting off from doing that shit. And I just thought it's hilarious. But it does. Kun does make an appearance, but it's very like just like, oh, these are random sketches, and then about like midway through the season, it starts converging on it. So I feel like I really enjoyed that because I'm used to the whole isekai of like, oh, we're gonna start learn about the world, and I thought that was a great way to kill that shit and just get me into the series and get me interested. So
that's what's
definitely recommend that one. And then I've been watching season 2 of the God Show. What's not the called the dude that got reincarnated?
Oh, to
Demon
your
King.
Oh
no.
Wait,
Anos. What is the name of the demon?
Oh, Anos Bodigodo. Misfit of Demon.
Yeah, Misfit
Academy,
of a Demon King. Like yeah, there we go. Yeah. The Misfit of Demon King Academy. I've been watching season 2 of that. It's giving you the same vibes, man. If you like OPS, niggas doing OPS shit, Anos is still that guy. So that's it for me.
You know, I wanted to piggyback into some of mine. Were you finished?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, because you know, I like the isekai genre too. I also watch Handyman. Really good, really funny. I like the fact that the wizard is like a 20th level.
That shit is hilarious.
Wizard, but he old and can't remember.
Forgot that shit.
So he know like super powerful like fire magic, but he'll stop and be like, "Damn, what was that incantation?" So But you know, it's a funny show. It's like, yeah, I would agree, like a isekai sitcom.
You said that's the Handyman?
Yeah.
Handyman reincarnated, something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, them long titles. Yeah. But some of the other ones was like saving 80,000 gold in retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Such a funny anime. It's like this girl, she not like isekai, she not like Truck-kun isekai, but she can teleport to a other world. So she decides to finesse once she find out they gold coins worth like $200 back home. So she like, oh, I'm bringing it from at home.
Yo, that conversion rate.
And then it's just like, it's one of them things like, don't you know when you just sitting back with the homies and you like, man, if I go back in time, I'd probably bring this. She basically that. She's like, oh, what if people try and attack me? Then she go back, learn how to use a gun. She come back like, yeah, what's up? I'm strapped. Like, it's hilarious. So it's another funny one. Moving from that, stop sleeping on Blue Lock. Wake up. I seen the live action Tokyo Revengers. And it's not bad. I was not upset while watching it. You know, I'm not gonna say that it's great. Obviously, it's gonna cut things off. That's what every movie does. But from what us anime fans have been getting for live action, this is a bearable one. This is one you could show somebody and like it's a solid movie. Tokyo Revengers live action is solid. Only thing that's not believable is that these 30-year-olds are middle schoolers. That shit not believable live action. Other than that, I've also been watching To Your Eternity season 2. My God, To Your Eternity, such an emotional roller coaster, such a good anime, and it ended well. But it looked like they gonna keep milking the money train and keeping it going. And
it's not done.
Oh, there's gonna be another season.
Yeah, if you waited till after the credits, which I just happened to do because I was like doing stuff while I was playing, I was just listening to the song. They had like a little like prelude to the future.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and it looked like it's gonna be Huff. I'm not gonna lie. Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my stamp to stop that shit right there in season 2. We'll see if it get good or not. My guess is not. That's all I had.
Okay. Are we going over things we're watching right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New shit.
Let's see. I mean, I watch a lot of TV, like live action TV, but in terms of like anime stuff, Vinland Saga is back on Netflix. It's just it just makes it easy to watch because Netflix is right there. So you know, I've been reading this series on like webtoons called Ordeal. It's a kind of like a typical kind of shonen type thing, but it's all like a lot of black characters, like niggas. It's based in Trinidad and Tobago. Niggas with locks, and so I just enjoy that. There's some representation there.
Do it got to do with a hand on fire in front of it?
Yeah, that's yeah. It looks like it. Yeah, his power is fire, so I assume so. Yeah.
But they got this shit in Filipino. Or is that the language?
Yeah, it's
spoken in the Philippines.
It's a black guy that writes it too.
No, it's called
It's a black guy that writes it, so I don't know why he has a bunch of different languages. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
See,
but it's only 52.
I watched the first episode of Hell's Paradise. That's like a new anime that came out.
Oh, I finally dropped.
I've been hearing about that.
The manga
was decent, so I'll try to keep up with it. And then I think Marshall and Muscle, is that what it's called, right?
Yeah. No, it's going to this week. This week coming up.
So I'll add that to my list as well.
Nah, just know for everyone watching that you heard it here first, bro. We called it from like chapter what MGG? Where we were like, this gonna be an anime and it's gonna be fire. So I'm even gonna need to say nothing. Like it's gonna wake waves. So
facts. Shout out to JUGGUH though, Hell's Paradise. Somebody on TikTok, I'll say that. I won't say people. Consider as part of the Dark Big Three with Jujutsu Kai. I forgot what the other one was. But I mean, I read it separately. Like this, I would say it's a good series. It's one of those that I like because the ending is a finality type of thing. So they get to an end which is great, but it is an everyone can die type of series. So keep that in mind when you jump in that motherfucker.
No plot armor.
Everybody niggas might not be there at the end. So,
why you say that, bro?
Huh?
Now I think the main character, the main fire nigga gonna die.
Well, I don't know. I can't tell you because then that would give it away. But all I'll say is that anybody can die. So like there is a lot of characters that get introduced. You'll be surprised how they play it out at the end. But it's good. It is enjoyable. Somebody had recommended it actually for the podcast a while reading it. When we did AfroCon a few years back, I reading the manga, catching up with it. They were saying that it was. They were trying to say it was better than. I didn't agree with that assessment, but it was not a bad. It wasn't a bad read. So shout out to that show. Shout out to Mash coming back to get because right now the manga. Is a black star. That nigga said
crazy.
So good luck to y'all. Welcome.
It's just like the series just continues to just mix like the action, story, and comedy. Just just money. But anyways,
side note, go ahead.
No, I was saying the last thing I read every month is like Boruto. When they're going on their time.
How's that going for you?
I think it's getting better than it started with.
Kishimoto's writing it now, right? Are you reading the side stories as well? Because that was the only one I was trying to follow. A Kurenai's one, Kurenai's daughter. I was following that side story.
I have. It's kind of boring.
What she could do. So, is it? Yeah, it was good. Like dog versus fire thing. That's where I stopped. Like dog versus cat festival thing. I was like,
I read the chapter that came out like 2 days ago or recently. It's pretty boring, I'd say. But and just like the Boruto's going on time skip pretty soon. So like I guess it's supposed to really pick up after that, where like at the beginning of the series there's like Boruto versus the other guy.
Yeah, when they had them two looking at each other. They're building to that now.
Yeah, we're kind of there. We understand how it happened now because he's trying to kill him. But
okay.
So yeah, and like they switched place. Oh, do y'all care? Story or no?
You can spoil it for me all you want.
Yeah,
I'll read it.
So they switched places, like some bullshit power, but now like Boruto is like the outsider, and like the Kawaki boy is like is Naruto's son, kind of like they switched like roles in the universe.
So, shit.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's interesting.
All right. Any other shows?
Yeah, I'll spit a few words on the that time I got reincarnated as a slime movie, Scarlet Bond. Recently, at least released with the English sub, from what I can see. But checked it out. Overall, honestly, I wasn't impressed, unfortunately. But in my head, I think I kind of hyped it up a lot because I was hyped for it in general. But like the main plot of it is so meh. And there's not really like a big obstacle / villain for him to fight. If anything, it just more showcased like how strong Rimuru and like his overall squad got since he became a demon lord. That it's like no one really at this point in time can F with him unless his other demon lords. And like they actually have like a squad or organization strong enough to even really step to him anymore. But I mean, overall, there was a few good fights, a little bit of insight to the to another of the primordial demons, like black or red, blue, green, etc. So they introduced another color and got like a little bit of detail on that. But honestly, that was really the only true highlight, minus some of the fights, because that time I got reincarnated fights, they actually go pretty decent. But even the amount of fights wasn't even at least up to my standards of what I was ready for. So overall, I would probably just give it a flat decent, if I'm being honest with you. So I was expecting like at least a decent as hell or like a decent plus, but it was like watch it if you want, but there's nothing too crazy that I'd be like, yeah, you definitely got to watch it, minus the actual series itself. So
that's tough for slime, man.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else? on new shows?
As far as series right now, no. Just a couple things to note that the Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village that's about to start up anime. I think that starts like this week or next week. So like that's gonna be up this season also as far as the new anime season, as well as the next season of Doc Stone and the Stone World, or like New World. That's gonna come
Shout
out.
out
So
to
that
y'all
should be
niggas and
interesting.
Dr. Stone for y'all. I did want to do a side note tangent since just mentioned live action show. Shout out Swarm. I'm almost done with that tonight. Decent show. Donald Glover did his thing. It's but I enjoy watching that shit. It's definitely like interesting. Then there's a little mind fuck in the episode where you're like, is this real? Is it just really happened? Is this not? So shout out to them for that. On Netflix, I was watching Physical 100. I'm not sure if anybody watched it.
I heard of it.
Episodic thing. I enjoyed it. America steals it because I think it would be a good American show to grab. They basically just take like 100 of the strongest people they believe in Korea. I don't know if they really vetted it for real, but like they have like MMA fighters, bodybuilders, special force niggas, and they have them go through these different challenges. The goal is to whittle it down to one. There's actually some controversy because the guy who won, it was a CrossFitter or something, but there's something about the challenge that they were doing where they were taking breaks, and actually the other guy might have won, and that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is it gives me those like American Ninja Warrior vibes, but in a more realistic sense. So I would love if America stole that or Netflix made an American version and just like try to do it with niggas from out here, because I think it'd be an interesting watch. I enjoyed the Korean watch though; it was still good.
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I even waited for like, because I started watching it before all the episodes were out, so I even waited for like new episodes to come out. So like, yeah, I thought it was actually good.
Yeah,
them Koreans, they know what they're doing with TV, man. Them Koreans, they can make.
They really do.
They don't. That's what I was saying last episode, bro.
The manga I was talking about, it has a very similar Korean show I just finished watching called The Glory. They finally finished it up in March. That is like that premise of The Glory is literally what manga is, but way more graphic. And I thought that show was great. That lady was like a strategist. She did not miss. She had her plans fucking calculated to get her bullies. It was a great show. I enjoyed watching it. And then this is an older one, so I think season 2 just dropped, but I started picking it up. Yellow Jackets, which is about these like teenagers who get trapped in an island, and I guess the big secret is they ate somebody on there, but they kept it a secret, and then now they're like, adults. So it's kind of like a reverse version of it. Usually you see it where they're showing you the survival, and then like that's where it ends. After they get off the island, it's over with. This is more like they're all most of them are off the island, and you're learning about what happened episodically as they're also trying to cover up somebody into what actually happened there. So I thought it was pretty interesting, but also very graphic. So it's like I'm taking it step by step, because it's like you watch an episode, motherfuckers like they're really showing like people's legs getting messed up and the stuff like that. So it's like so when you're in the mood for that stuff, sure, but like for this one, it's like I gotta take it with a grain of salt. I watched like an episode and I'm like, all right, cool, that was enough graphic for me, and then I'd be thinking about my son in the background. So I'm like, I don't want to, if he turned into some weird serial killer in the future, I don't want to say it was because he was like rolling his eyes sideways and watching this crazy shit. I'd be like, yo, let me take a break. I'll come back to this later and finish this shit off. So yeah, but as far as live action stuff, that's what I was watching. If anybody got some good ones they want to shout out, feel free.
I mean, long story short, just don't sleep on K-dramas. I mean, there's a few good ones out there, in my opinion. So
I've been watching this one thing. It's not like a drama or anime, it's live action. And I thought it was kind of good. It's called The Parent Test. And
yeah, I watched it.
It's on Hulu. Yeah, you like it? It's
funny
good.
As hell.
Yeah, it's just like you just get to judge parents, and there's kind of like a game show. They get like these different parenting styles, and then have their kids trying to like complete these trials or whatever, and then people just judge parents. I think it's good to sit and like either have if you plan on being a parent, or if you already are one, sit down with your significant other and talk about it. It's pretty good.
I got a question for you. I didn't get to the end to see who won, but I do have I have my perspective. But my question to you is, how did you feel about like the parenting styles? Were there one that you leaned to more, or like what were you waiting on? Because I waited on something very specific, and a lot of them niggas failed because they like most of the parenting styles failed at the like crucial steps, like not getting kidnapped, like failed that, like your parenting style failed that test, like get it out of here, like parent test. So like they had these different parents with different parenting styles. So some were strict, some were like, oh, I talk to my children as equals. They had like little names for each one of them, but then they would have them go test like, oh, somebody comes to the door, does your child open the door? Talk to them about like private parts, how do they handle those conversations? And then they were like, all the parents were kind of like voting, who would win and like what parenting style they thought was the best. And like I think some of those parenting styles were like born out of the trauma of strict parenting styles. Like they came from strict parents and they were just like, oh yeah, I want to do exactly the opposite. And it did not work out well when it came to crucial tests like, hey, a stranger comes up and tries to take your kid. Are they going to call you? And the niggas was just like, yo, what's up? Like, just like literally hopped into the van. Yeah. One where the parents didn't even want to show the video.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Like, I'm like, look, bro, if your kid can't prevent their own kidnapping, L pay.
Yeah. L. Fuck the other tests, bro. Not dying was number one.
I don't want to like trigger anybody. You feel me? I'm not saying like, oh, if your kid get forcibly kidnapped, that's different. These kids were willingly walking away. Like, nah,
right?
Your kid gotta know they can't do that, bro. But I will just say this: the parenting style I found myself leaning with the most is the high achievement parent. It's like,
was
like,
that?
Yeah, that's the black dude.
The bald black dude.
Yeah, can have fun and all that, but like they also got to get right first. Like that's it,
bro. He made me laugh the hardest.
We not equals. We not friends, bro. Like,
yo, he made me laugh the hardest because there was a scene like in that one of the first episodes where there was these gay parents and their kid. Yeah, the kid was like, hey, do you want to? The kid was like, I want to slap you, and the dad was like, sure, you want to slap me for real? And he was like, sure, you could do it. So the kid slapped him, and that black dude was like, that's unfathomable. I would never. He's like, I didn't even know how to respond to that. That would never happen in my life. And I was like, yep, I'm that guy.
Unfathomable, bro.
Wait, the dad literally said that it was Gucci for the kid to slap him full force in the face.
Yeah, because that was their parenting style. Yeah.
Like their parenting style was routines. Like they kept their kids on like strict routines. And so then like the test was like a yes day. Like the kid, you have to say yes to anything the kid says. And so their kids was asking for like iPad and technology time because, getting off their routine. Then one of the kids was like, I want to slap you. So
and that nigga said,
wow.
Could not be me.
Unacceptable.
No. That's what I'm saying. But the black guy knew. He was like, my son wouldn't even think to ask me that question. Like he knows. He knows. Even if I would have said yes, like he knows that thought would never cross his mind. And that was where I was like, yeah, bro.
See, I think that show is entertaining, not only because it bring up some questions, like, oh, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah.
But I think people like to, judge parents, especially if they not friends or family, so you ain't got to feel bad.
Right. Yeah. No, it's definitely a good show. I agree with you. I enjoy watching it.
Mm-hmm. Since you're talking about live action, a couple other things. On my, I'm watching Your Honor on Showtime. That's also really good. Second season.
I gotta catch up.
Mandalorian season 3 came out.
Is it good?
I haven't started it yet. That's my plan tonight, but. We shall see. I think it's on like episode 5 right now, maybe. I'll let it build up. Want to let it build up a couple of episodes first.
Where would y'all rank it? Because I haven't gotten to a single Star Wars show, and I would like, are any of them where you would be like, damn, maybe not even Game of Thrones level, but like worth wasting? Worth watching.
Personally, to me, like The Mandalorian was really like the only one that I really enjoyed. I mean, like the others, they were just cool, and I watched them because they were like associated with the Star Wars brand, probably. But I wouldn't have. I
Do
probably
you feel
wouldn't
like
have
you
watched
need to
them
be a
if they were
Star Wars stan to enjoy those? Like, if you know enough about the world, like I know the basics, right? But I wouldn't consider myself like a strong fan. Like, I've watched the movies, but like not a huge lore guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you
So
think you
I'm
can?
not a Star Wars stan at all.
Okay.
But I thought the Mandalorian was good, like like literally a standalone show. I thought it was good.
Gotcha. Okay.
I am a Star Wars stan. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think Star Wars sucks. But with that being said, though, I think that unless you're a Star Wars stan, like you're like, yo, I'm consuming this because it got Star Wars attached to it. There's no reason to watch all of these shows at all.
Yeah.
However, the good thing about Star Wars is that they're like the universe breaks into like three different paths. Like you got your political drama, your sci-fi wizardy thing, and then you got like your space western. So like each of the shows gonna fit into one of those three paths. They don't try to hit all three of them. They sprinkle of them. Like so, like I like the Mandalorian. That's like a space western. You know what I'm saying? If you like space westerns, you'll fuck with it. If you like the Jedi aspect of it, you watch Kenobi. If you like the sci-fi thriller, you watch Andor. You know, the political thriller. But they all not gonna give you the same thing. And if you don't like one of those categories, you won't like the show.
That's fair. Fair assessment.
Good to know.
And
my
then
bad. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you good. Succession. This is the final season of Succession. Came out last week. Again, I recommend it if you don't. Another HBO hit.
Yeah. We try to get into it. It's another one I gotta pick back up.
I do think it's a slow, like as a build, like it's like a slow burn for sure.
But is it one of those like it's slow to start, but then it's like once you pass where it goes from like I've been watching it to like now I can't kind of thing. Or is it all slow like a background type of thing? Like you're drops, you kind of just is like, oh yeah, cool. I finished my to-do list. Watch Succession type thing.
No, I don't like rush to watch it. I don't really rush to watch anything, I guess. Let me think. And yeah, I can't judge it like that. I judge off binging, right? If this was you can't binge it because it's HBO. But if it was a bingeable show, I would have binged it.
Okay.
Put it like that. So like that's how I would. Like if I would just stay, if I just watch it like until like 1 a.m. I usually consider that to be a good show.
Did anybody watch The Last of Us? Because I watched the first half of it, and then I didn't finish the season, but I thought it was good. Okay.
I thought it was good. I just have with most like zombie kind of things, there are like episodes I think that are really slow. But it was good overall, I think.
Okay. Anything else? You said Succession. Was that the last one?
That I can think of. I watch a lot of TV.
All right, somebody put Ant-Man 3 down. I didn't watch it yet, so I don't know who put it down, but feel free to spoil it for me. I don't care. And shout out. Well, I'm just putting this out there, you know. Man, Jonathan Majors, I hope everything gets that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, if you did do that shit, I hope they clear your name. If you did do that shit, man, that sucks.
Wait, what?
Because I'm like, yeah. They said he's like, some news came out.
Where you been at, boy?
There was an
assault. Shit. Did I miss something? I mean, last time I checked, like, homie was like at the top of the list for everything is Gucci. So
yeah, it looks like it's a cancel thing, but I don't have the evidence to know whether if it's true or not. But like, there's this issue, an assault thing with his girlfriend, I guess, that came out, and then from there it became this whole thing. Like other people have been saying, like he's been a shitbag in the industry and woo and blah blah blah. All I say is that without knowing the actual details, I'm gonna wait till that comes out. I respected the movies I saw him in. I don't know him as a person though, so that is what it is. But I really enjoyed the harder they fall. I enjoyed Lovecraft Country, and I'm assuming that when I watch him, is role as a Kang in that. But
you know, this may be a cancelable take. But like, what if we let great artists continue to produce their art from jail? Like, keep R. Kelly in jail, but let me get 3 books to Ignition. You know, lock Majors up, but let me get Ant-Man 3, 4, and 5. Like,
I would tend to agree with that take. I mean, I guess the issue comes where the money goes, but like, I still like lock these niggas up, but I still want to get the content that they was about to put out. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm saying you can withhold their money until they free from jail.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even use it.
You know, until the same way. I know, like the in prison they work like in the cafeteria or whatever, doing whatever. Instead of that, just have them go act for a couple hours. You know,
get that motherfucker.
It's a whole thing there because it goes to the question of like, do you throw the what is it called? What's the saying? The something with
Baby
the bathwater.
Bathwater?
Yeah, like that saying goes to that.
And
I don't know. To me, it's if you throw the baby out with the bathwater, I feel like it plays into that conversation, and I think it depends on what the person did. And if I'm being human about it, I feel like it honestly depends more on how you feel about what the person did in relation to you. Meaning, like, if someone was like a huge anti-black person and murdered black children, I may feel differently than if they were like, a different type of abuser, for lack of a better word. I think that people play that into their perspective as well. So I feel like it's situational for me. There's some where I'm like, yes, I get it. Like, for example, if like motherfucking Jonathan Majors was selling weed and got put in jail, like, let that nigga act. Like, I'm not tripping off that. But like, now if you found out like somebody else was like a sex trafficker and maybe one of those people they trafficked was like your relative, I don't know if you'd be in full support of them, you know what I'm saying? Continuing to pursue their craft. So that's where I'm like, it's hard and it's very personal. So I don't know. It's
put out there that I was joking. You know, I was joking. I was playing.
Rules. Insta retraction.
It's case by case. That's all I'll say for me. It's case by case. They selling weed. Hey, bro, let that nigga free. Other things else, I will not make a statement. I will think about it, is what I would say. But yeah, my bad. Who watched Ant-Man 3? Because somebody put it down.
I didn't put it down, but I watched Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, I watched it.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, I'll keep it light. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I said I didn't have anything really.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I keep it light. It was all right. I wouldn't spend your money to go see it. Wait till it come on Disney Plus. You know
I'm loving this. Wait a couple months and it's on Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Hype here, bro. Especially having a kid. I don't be going to the movie theaters no more. So I'm like, bro,
absolutely.
I'm ready to have a movie night with Disney Plus.
I mean, a lot of people have been saying like it's the end of like the superhero movie era, right? Where like people are burnt out.
Ant-Man movie.
Burnt out. No, but I mean, I think they say like superhero movies in general have obviously they're gonna still do well, right? But they haven't been doing as well, I guess, as like since like Avengers. They haven't been doing like as well as like they did before.
See, my issue with it is like, is that the data or like, yes, the data may show that, but I guess my question becomes like, what's actually the cause of that? Like, it's very possible that this next phase could have been written, drew way more attention. You get me, to where this thing, like, I feel like it's hard to say like, oh, it's the end of the superhero genre just because this set of superhero movies aren't what you expected the first set of them to be. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the premise behind it is more important to me than the statement of, well, they're selling less, so that means it's going down. It's like maybe they just all wrote them shittily. Like, look, Shazam 2 is dying in the box office. Black Adams didn't do well. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the movie we've been getting at the same time just blew up. It's just one of those things. Like, and that was an action. Like, John, those movies have not been, from my understanding, doing as well. There's been so many of them that have dropped that. HBO Max. Like Nobody, I thought was a great movie with Bob Odenkirk. Nobody talked about that shit. That just kind of like ghosted into the theater right out. And now John Wick 4 is like, yo, bro, the way he was shooting them niggas in the face, you know. I have not watched the movie. I know exactly what's going to happen when I go in there. There's going to be a scene.
Well, I guess that's kind
of weapons he's going to use, and then he uses those weapons.
That's kind of the thing, I guess, because like they're like people are. I don't think so, but like the idea that a movie like John Wick is getting all this coverage is like preferences are slightly shifting from like the superhero, or at least the superhero movie in the way that it's typically written today, I guess.
You know, I guess my question is like, when are we going to take a look at the cyclical nature of that behavior? Because me, like I guess what I'm saying is like
that goes to what I'm saying that it's like at the current point in time, there people are off of superhero movies.
I think people are just writing that for like clickbait. I don't think the data would suggest that though, right? Like because like Ant-Man 3 did poorly in the box office, right? But no Ant-Man movie has done well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, and that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, like it's done just as good as all the rest of the shitty Ant-Man movies. And then people will say like, oh, well, the MCU is dying. Like if you think Iron Man is good, Iron Man is not in the top 50. No Iron Man movie is in the top 50% of Marvel movies, right? And so like if Iron Man kicked all this shit off and it wasn't dead, we got phase 4 movies, which are the recent phase. Spider-Man No Way Home is the second biggest Marvel movie ever, behind Endgame, you know what I mean? And then what do we got? Doctor Strange is in 9th place. This is Doctor Strange 2, by the way. So like, yeah, niggas can sit here and say it's dying, but shit, money being spent, nigga. Like Doctor Strange made almost $500 billion, nigga. Money being spent.
No.
That's more.
I agree, and that's why I was gonna ask, because to me, like, I didn't expect an Ant-Man movie to do anything record-breaking at the box office. I was gonna ask, how does this movie play in the rest of the Ant-Man movies? Like, is it the best of the 3 so far? Because I thought most of the Ant-Man movies were like pretty mid. First one that much, it was okay. Second one to me was like first one, if not because at the end they did this whole game. Like that was been the only thing that boosted it to me. So I was just like, in comparison to, was it better than that? That was really all that matters to me on whether I watch it or not.
I think that shit was like impressively mid. Like it's so mid that I couldn't even tell you which Ant-Man is better than like that shit in there.
And that's what I feel like the Ant-Man series gives you. It's consistent. It's consistently mid. That takes the very boring like Ant-Man formula. Like that Ant-Man formula is like the big budget action film formula that they steal for those movies.
First Ant-Man, I think, was decent if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
But it took that like Spider-Man formula to me, like, or not even Spider-Man, but you know what I mean? Like there's that formula of a father and like getting power. And it's very, I've seen it. But what's gonna happen? There's nothing like how that movie ever plays out to me. It's just the action flick. The Ant-Man behavior. I don't know any of his rogues gallery. So like none of it, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to anything there because solely because it's a Marvel movie is the only reason why I'm watching it. I don't have any connection as a hero.
You know,
like I do the other ones.
I think that like, so my brother is a casual like Marvel fan, like, and he only goes to see the Avengers movies. And I'm thinking like, if everybody is kind of like that, I think that if you compare the Avengers franchise to like regular Marvel movies, they blow them out the water. Those movies go crazy. But Ant-Man's super mid, and I think like it's very easy to look at these mid movies and be like, nah, bro, this ain't Endgame. Like, nah, it's not.
Duh.
It never will be.
It would never will be.
Like, and it ain't gonna get close, bro. That's it. I don't think MCU dying. I just think like niggas forgot how ridiculously mid the rest of the MCU was.
Yeah,
like Thor.
And I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Right? The Thor movies, like everything that built up to it. I would say the only thing that kept the hype, and that's funny because that's the one I watched the least, were the Captain America movies. people like talk about how great they were, because Winter Soldier I hear talk about, and then the one where Black Panther was introduced, like Civil War, that was.
I mean, that was practically an Avengers movie anyway. So
Avenger Marvel movies to me. I don't know if the data says that would, and then Ragnarok niggas fuck with, but I don't. Once again, outperform those Captain America movies. I feel like niggas were talking about those way more.
Yeah, Ragnarok not in the top 10, but I mean niggas fuck with it. It's up there.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah. So it sounds like Ant-Man 3 was mid. All right, I'll wait till it pop up on Disney Plus.
DVD.
I still gotta watch Black Panther 2. Chilling on that. All right. So in the world of gaming.
Hey, what I say, bro? Can I just stop real quick? Because niggas called me a goofy when I said Black Panther was mid, and niggas not gonna rock with it as hard for the second one, bro. Y'all could blame it on you know, obviously Chadwick's unfortunate passing. I'ma just be real. It was never good. We fucked with it for the culture. We ain't doing that shit twice, bro. You're not gonna get the same numbers. We not doing that twice.
Look. They just had to say one name.
How you gonna drop that?
Denzel. Wow. Pop up just for no reason. I be in the theaters.
Wow.
That's it. They just pretend like Black Panther 1 never happened, and they just redo Black Panther 1 with Will Smith and Denzel as T'Challa and Michael B. Jordan. That shit will be fucking. You just pretend like you never even seen that. Denzel talking to Angela Bassett.
Man, bro. They gotta have like multiverse Killmonger come back to box Kane just on some 3-3.
Right.
I don't know which one of these we want to start with. ARR chat, Xbox and Bethesda. I can always fuck up how to pronounce that. And then Harry Potter.
That one I don't know.
Well, I'll just mention my two quick things.
Sure.
You know, Xbox and Bethesda, all the Sony ponies out there was like, yeah, we still gonna get Bethesda games, and Xbox is saying otherwise now. Y'all not getting
exclusive.
And they shut it down.
No Elder Scrolls.
Y'all not getting Elder Scrolls, bro.
No.
God, no.
Nope.
That shit gonna be exclusive. That shit all exclusive, bro. It's over with.
Well,
time to switch.
I guess I'll get a backup Xbox.
Yeah. And then Harry Potter, that Hogwarts Legacy, that game fire, bro. Wow. Man, they made the whole fucking castle, bro. Whoever did that, y'all raw, bro. That's just so fun. That's all I gotta say. Go get the game.
I enjoy casting spells in that game. That's what I'll say.
Hey, you be using them dark arts, boy.
I haven't got there yet. I'm still in the tutorial phase.
Hey, I'm a Hufflepuff.
My wife. Huh?
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if this ever become a online multiplayer game, I'm a Hufflepuff, but I keep the dark arts on me.
I keep the dark arts on me.
How you a Hufflepuff with dark arts? Like, what are you doing with those?
They keep the dark arts on me.
Hey, bro. Hey.
You stay strapped. What do you mean?
Right?
Crazy. But no, I mean, I think Gramps may have put on the Chat GPT, but like literally the only thing I really know about it was that South Park episode that we were talking about. But since we got P5, who's a teacher here, like the biggest thing that, that was just interesting to me is just how applicable you could, like, just like the flexibility and like overall range you could use it for. Have you actually been seeing like your students using it, or like any proof like along those lines?
If a kid used that, I would be like, wow, this kid kind of smart. Kids are dumber than y'all think. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. I ain't had no high schooler do it yet. I'm pretty sure they deal with it in college. If I haven't had a high schooler do something like that, I'd be impressed. I'm like, wow, look at you. You got an AI to write your paper for you. I'd be impressed. But once every kid started doing it, then I'm like, damn. At that point, again, that's on you parents, man. Look, your kid out here got robots writing their paper.
Shit. Well, anyways, that was the one thing I pretty much had for it. I was just curious to think about just how you can literally use it. Here's some background. Is that me?
Yeah, that's me. I think my headphones died.
Oh, you did.
I didn't hear that echo. My bad.
But no, I was just curious. Like, would any of y'all just use? Like, do any of y'all use it? Like, just to use it?
I used it a couple of times.
Like for just for kicks and giggles, or for like an actual purpose?
I used it to help with my resume once. So like I had got laid off here, so I was using it to touch that stuff up. Like I was like, maybe this will be quicker. I got a job, so you can say maybe it helped, but I don't think it helped that much. So I mean, I used it for that. I've seen people use it for other things, but yeah, that was mostly what I used it for because I hate writing those bullet points. So I was like, oh, maybe they can give me like say this thing in the like professional way that makes it sound like I did what I actually did without underselling myself.
Right.
But like I said, it wasn't as helpful, and they have AI tools that already do most of that stuff, and that's what I ended up using more than I would say Chat GPT. I think like 1 or 2 bullet points.
I have never used GPT or any other like language AI, but I have used the AI art. I'll use it to make like characters and stuff for Dungeons and Dragons. And I just gotta say this to all the artists that's like, yo, it's still art, deaf to artists. And as a consumer, I've tried to do the right thing and pay y'all,
boys,
pay y'all bum ass artists to make sure. Then y'all want to be, yeah, bro, this is gonna be $500 for this painting. Respect the artist, man. Respect these nuts. Now this computer about to do it for the low, and that's on you. Compete.
Damn.
Wow.
Yep,
I hear you, and I do see the power in. I also hear the other side of like, damn, you definitely still. But I can't lie. I feel like artists have been like I feel like that's constantly being robbed since the beginning of time. Like, it's like it's one or the other. It's either like they definitely robbing these people, or like the shit is way over. It's a huge upside in the world of being a creative. It's either you got the upside or you're just forever not having the upside, and that's it.
I feel like this is the issue with artists. Internet got niggas thinking like that like, bro, like yes, some artists can charge $1,000 for their work because it is that impressive. All you niggas is not $1,000 artists, bro. You're not.
I don't think you're talking about art there. I think you're talking about them black hairstylists. I think that's where you was throwing the shade, because they definitely some of those creatives that got their head big. Them barbers, bro. Them Instagram photos got them thinking they could charge $150 a cut. Like I'm like, who are you talking to, bro? Like you got Future's lining, sure, but like, bro, nobody is watching Future and going like, yo, bro, you did his lining. So
niggas be charging 30 for a lining, bro. When? Like, and I'm telling you, bro, I'm sorry. I hope robots do it to them too. If I can just go to a robot name,
bro, I'm going to a robot that's gonna line me up any day, bro. The moment that AI technology is like, bro, I'm in there. That's it.
And I've been on it. I'm on a technological wave. Look, it's artists today. It's gonna be every other nigga tomorrow. When the robots come for your job, I don't care, bro. It's over.
There's artists today, everybody else tomorrow. I'm done.
Your job.
All right, let's get to these MVPs and goofies, man.
God,
I'm gonna toss my 2 MVPs. They're tied right now because I just thought they were both living it up. The past thing, Mash for saying fuck death, basically, and Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen because this nigga super stratted. he's super stratted,
real one,
and then shitted on. Oh my gosh, shitted on niggas, bro. Like one is cool because I just read this recent chapter. And the way he's able, spoiler alert, so don't listen. The way he's able to use Megumi's powers right now, he's using like one spirits we haven't seen, but in this fight, if I understood it correctly, he's using them at the like literally the most basic spirits. He's bodying like a top tier sorcerer right now. So there's a bull we've never seen him use that only just like charges straight, and he's like going in using that, a deer that heals, and a freaking Max Elephant. Like he pulled out Max Elephant and used it. So he's using the most basic curse techniques right now. Not even like what we saw before where he like some demon or whatever that he couldn't beat. He's using like level 1 from what I understand it spells. Fucking that. I just have to put respect on his name, and I gotta give a goofy to Yuji because you sweet. Like he thought he developed some sort of bond with Sukuna. I was like, bro, I was never on that time with you. Like, I don't know what you. This ain't Naruto, nigga. Like, just because I'm that demon inside you, I don't fuck with this friendship shit. I was on a plot and a plan that said as soon as he hopped up out that, oh, you mad because we ain't got your demon no more.
Did he take over the body fully?
Yeah, he took over
bro.
Megumi's body.
He got a body.
Yeah. He basically had Megumi eat his finger, like Yuji's finger. That's how he switched. So he basically
he's
like
not a Yuji anymore.
No,
he just
not
switched to Megumi. He is now in Megumi's body.
Right.
Huh?
Oh, wait, like is Yuji down a finger?
Yeah, technically.
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah. He's in Megumi's.
But
in his techniques, Megumi does not have the same.
And he bossed him with him. Yeah, dude.
He's holding him back, but it's not in that like double relationship anymore. Like that nigga's in full control of his body right now. Huh?
I mean, wait, what?
You said Megumi does not have what?
He doesn't have control over his body. So like like relationship, like he's in full control of Megumi's body. What Megumi was doing was like holding back his power to a degree, but in a way where it's just like he just said like, oh, this nigga, but he didn't say anything. He's not talking to that nigga in his head. He owns full that control. Nigga's body as we speak now.
So Yuji was special or something? Is that what you're saying?
But he had already said Megumi was special because Megumi in the past, the one who beat him was a sorcerer with Megumi's powers.
Yeah, but like, why could you?
No, I mean, like, as far as like your reasoning is correct. Like there is something special that I think we still don't know as far as the reasoning why he was able to keep like his sanity with Sukuna in him.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
But and then they also made a deal, but that's that deal. So like they made that deal where he's like, oh yeah, I can take control of your body. I'm not gonna tell you what the fuck you're not gonna remember what I did. So that's like what he used to his advantage. Like you don't have any control. So he basically was like, yeah, take control.
No, he straddled that.
Niggas. I'm gonna switch bodies. Here you go. Took his shit. So all I'm saying is big ups to Sukuna for being a big brain villain.
Yeah.
I just thought that shit was cold. I'm liking what I'm seeing him doing, and I like it because it's like once again, it's giving us that respect that I felt like Megumi was taking a while to get us to, showing us like the actual value of this shadow power. Like this nigga is once again using the basic of basic summons person just off like the knowing how to use his shit, not just summoning some that we had summoned before. So big respect to Sukuna, and like once again, Yuji thought he was in the series, and this nigga said, "Hell no, bro, this is Senin, bro. Like get the fuck out of here. I'm not a demon best buddy pal, nigga. I'm a villain." This villain.
So last thing is Gojo still sealed?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, like, bro, you gotta.
Bro, they had to take him out. I think he's getting close to unsealing them, though. But yeah, they had to take him out. They getting there though. They getting there. The problem is like there's so many threads because with this fight that I felt like wasn't clear in the beginning. They actually brought back sorcerers from different time periods.
Right.
So like you're like sort of story, but at the same time it's like really convoluted and already confusing because you're like, oh wow, this nigga's from a totally different time and apparently he was OP in his time. But like you got to compare it to today's time. It's a lot of weird shit going on.
Yeah, that's just one of the flaws with the series as a whole, though, and
Yeah.
that's where the anime truly shines, along with the stupid
100%.
money and animation that they give to Jujutsu Kaisen anyway. So
Yeah.
another note that Jujutsu Kaisen, the anime, is going to literally stay fire for like a while. So,
But y'all are so behind. That's my thing. Like y'all didn't even skip part, and that was like a forever
True.
ago. At this point, I mean, the Gojo flashback, like the high
yeah,
down shit.
that's gonna.
I think that's maybe supposed to be.
Yeah, that's summer this year.
That's fine. I have no desire to read Jujutsu Kaisen, so I don't feel like any desire.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't started, honestly, you might. I mean, you have. Oh, okay.
I stopped because I didn't like it. It was too much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just say.
I mean,
watch
it definitely
then,
goes into the like. I am not following it as well as I probably could because it's not very detailed to me. Like, I feel like I would have to support my reading of the chapters with like a wiki page, like go to the wiki and like understand what happened. Because like I often just get like bits and pieces, and then I'm like, but I think the anime apparently does a better job of explaining those bits. So I think that's what I'm gonna go for. I just didn't really feel like rewatching all this shit. So I think when they jump into this Gojo flashback thing, I'm going to start watching again. But yeah, well, shout out to them, and then once again, shout out to MASH. Happy to hear that anime is coming through. I even forgot to mention it in the manga. I've been reading a couple of other little series, and shout out to Undead Unluck. Still good. But anyways, that's it for me.
Then Undead Unluck get I think that got an anime clearance. I think that's gonna end
it
up
did. Yeah,
too.
I don't know when the anime is dropping, but yeah, it did get one also.
Along with Kaiju number 8, whenever that drops.
Another one that's doing well. That's it for me.
I'll do mine. My MVP was Bachira from Blue Lock. That's like the main character's friend, the guy with all the handles. Right now, for those who aren't anime viewers, we just finished like the second selection arc where they like make their team of 5. And it was the 4v4 like Bachira versus Isagi. And then they was like, yeah, pass. You know, Bachira been passing the whole time. And he's like, nah, bro. I'm done with all that.
My ego.
And he went out there and individually broke every nigga ankles on the team. Like, nah, come here. Let me get you. I'm about to break all 4 of y'all ankles, then go for the shot. And only lost because of luck. So I was just like, that's wild, bro. My nigga Bachira the GOAT. I always been saying he the GOAT. He just had to show people. And then my other MVP is Gramps. Good job saving the life, man. That's really cool. And then my Goofy is this nigga Captain Jack. Oh.
Captain Jack?
I'm just like, bro.
In Black Clover. Black Clover.
I forgot about his existence.
Yeah, I was thinking about the
Jack Sparrow. I thought it was Pirates of the Caribbean for a second. I said Captain Jack.
That's the only important Jack.
That's how bad it is, bro. Who is this dude? Like, it's at this point where I'm like, buddy, who like make the bronze statue, the bronze magic, make him the captain of the Green Mantises, bro. At least he got some clout.
I didn't even know.
The sad part is like, bro, he doing poverty niggas so dirty, bro. Like Asta right now, maybe Magna, if he gonna come back with another one, is the only niggas holding up poor niggas right now. Like Jack was supposed to be that one. He a poor nigga that was supposed to show us that like it don't matter where you come from. They bodied him immediately, bro. They said, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they doing that nigga. They did that nigga dirty,
bro. Anime wise, that would make me bust out laughing. That was the first nigga he took out.
And he in mid speech, he's like, "Oh, Morgan is Damn." I'm like, bro, and if he'd have been like bodying people, so then that way we knew, we gotta put some respect. He just killed Captain Jack, like, nah, bro, he fodder. They been fodderizing this nigga. There's nothing
right.
Pathetic.
They forgot, like his rival didn't even give a fuck. That's the thing. Did Yami care? I don't think Yami even care.
Morgan back.
Put a hole through him, bro.
My real rival's back alive.
They could at least put some respect on his name and say we killed him first because of his power. His power was too dangerous or something like that. They didn't even say that. They just shot him.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is how I know that Black Clover is just like righting all the wrongs of Rock Lee. Because my guy came off just like Jack, like some lame ass green nigga that there's like no way you're rivals with the best teacher. No way. But then Guy, they was like, no, this nigga really about that life. They doubled down with Jack, like, nah, nigga, he is not Yami rival. He never was.
I'm just waiting on one more. I should say two more. Nazel for go Leon, bro. Y'all need some holes put through y'all chest too, bro. It's over with.
Don't do Nazel like that, bro.
It's over with.
Wait, Goleon got a whole salamander and still at the same level. Nazel, that's all him, bro. I can't disrespect him like that. If he a bum all by his own merits. Nazel lacking with a fire salamander.
It's over with. Just go ahead and put a hole through him too.
God.
You know that laser from Halo? Remember that laser charge sound?
Oh, Spartan laser.
Over with.
Dirty.
But that's my Goofy, bro. He might even make it Goofy of the Year, real talk.
Facts.
Wolves.
No, Jack should be a nominee off that, bro. Because that was a goofy ass way to start the year, bro. Everybody was supposed to be training, bro. You ain't doing it.
That nigga was like, bro, I'm good. I don't need to get no better.
I can cut anything. He's come out.
Bro, I'm in to pass my limit, dumbass.
Wow.
Goofy, boy.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
I'll go. My MVP, tough. I gotta give it to that series Ordeal. Just for being all Black Island niggas, you know. And then I'll second your Goofy for Jack. Like, I was so disappointed, you know, like, it's well documented that I supported this guy and but nobody else believed in him. You know, I did. But
oh my god.
Hilarious.
he took the L.
Hey, bro. Dorothy can help him now though. He's in the dreamland. She could take care of him.
No, that nigga.
Yo, that'd be perfect though. Full circle.
Yep.
MVP, I'm gonna give it to Sukuna, just like MGG for the exact same reasons. Homie was a real one, mad stratted, and like I guess all around like the plot story as far as like that little piece of knowledge that we knew was important when it first dropped, and like literally slept on it for so much, and it's like fuck, that was a good cash out and like just good scheming overall. So definitely the MVP there. As far as Goofy, I'm actually going to give it to Death from MASH. It's like, bro, you are literally the concept of death, and my man swole out of death like that? I mean, like, my man literally said, like, you just out-muscled the metaphorical gates of death. It was like, and even homie was confused, like, how are you literally doing this?
Yeah,
it's like, bro,
I'll bargain that nigga by just saying no. He was
right?
like, in order for me to bring you back, you're gonna need to do something. He was like, I really don't feel like doing that. Like, I don't want to give up any of that shit. Like, can you just let me go back? And he was like, you know what? Sure.
Like, bro, what?
Yeah, bro, you can go back. Like, typically everybody gets this deal, but you like, you know, I like the humans, so like, I'll give you a pass.
Yeah, right. Even though that's literally just a cop out for himself. Like, yeah, man, I like these humans so much. Yeah, you go ahead. Like, he only had a choice. And again, this is death we talking about. Like, what? No, that was just straight goofy. Like, you know, you saw homie's exploits while he was alive. You know, you should have had some type of contingency for this mother effer. But nah, I guess he just can't beat. And like, I guess homie just immortal now too, low key. So you know, whatever. Shit. Ooh, right at the end, and GG dropped off.
Sorry, my
Dang,
thing's
well.
recording.
Oh, okay, you're good.
Yeah, I was like, that was it anyway.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess that's it. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Bye.
Until
Peace.
next time.